marketing, BS, money side price wash, Synth Quiz and news. So sit back, relax, enjoy your favorite crew. Synth Geekery show. Synth Geekery's where it's at. So join the channel and come on for a chat.
Well, let's take a drink, everybody, and have an echo. That's Chris's echo, by the way. So I'm just going to mute him for a sec. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Synth Geekery, episode 306. Nice of you guys to join us. Hopefully, you guys are going to stick around and enjoy the show. This week, we're going to be talking about the MIDI Inventors, which is actually part of the MIDI.org MIDI Association 2025 MIDI Awards. So we're going to go through a hand selection, not all of the products, but a hand selection of some of the nominations that have hit the MIDI Association. We'll go check it out. So that's going to be in our news segment. So it's very, very soon. So stick around for that. We also have a really big price watch this week, which is brought to us by Andy, who's you guys know as Synth Addict. He's done a really good job surfing the interwebs. So last week, if you thought last week was good, this week's probably easily just as good. So I think you guys will enjoy that. Funny side, and we'll do Synth Quiz at some stage as well. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the show. We'll have a quick look at who we got here, starting with that button there, I think it is. Hey, I think we've got the full team this week. Darren's only staying for about an hour. So Darren, to my right, and Andy to my far right. Below me is Ian, and in the middle down the bottom is Chris, and the chatties are in the bottom right hand corner if you're wondering. And if you're actually watching this in reverse, that means all the writing's backwards. I can't help you, so don't have it in reverse. Don't flip your image, or you could, I guess you could look at it through a mirror. I don't know. Anyway, let's get
my world is in reverse.
Let's get Synthy. We'll go and talk about these guys later on. But what I thought I'd do, because Darren is disappearing, I'm going to do Darren's "How's your week been?" now. Boom, because he's going to tell us what he's up to today.
Good day. Well, my day has been packed today. So the reason I'm here for an hour is we're going down to Stafford Emon, where Movement 81 are playing. So if you're anywhere in the area, get down to the On Top of the World. It's like, I think it's an all theatre type thing. Not far from I think it's Water Street, or definitely the car park Water Street. So it's going to be a big night. So hopefully there'll be a lot there. If not, Simon Greatbatch is hoping to stream it. So if you can't get down there, get on. I think he's streaming it on his own channel. He's hoping to stream it if all goes well. The reason I'm here for an hour is because I'm going to be taking the rig down, getting it packed up, ready to set off. So yeah, it's been packed, doing some stuff, some final tweaks, because I've packed it away it's on the rig at the moment. I can't show you, but a little gadget that I'm going to try out at the EMOM as well. So my rig's sort of expanded, but it's always going to be expanding.
No.
So I'm dropping the lights for this EMOM because with Movement 81 bringing their huge new cool sort of modular sort of
quantum computer.
You've got to see it. Quantum computer.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Expanding like Tonto's expanding headband.
Exactly. So I'm leaving enough room, so I'm not putting my lights up because there'll be too much messing about. So instead I've expanded it in a different way. And hopefully there'll be some sort of Easter eggs. So if you know Movement 81, because even they don't know what I'm going to do. So maybe if all goes well, there'll be some little Easter eggs in like the jam mix, just the stuff I play. So I've just written that this morning. So I've not tried it out, so I don't know if it'll work. It might not even work. So yeah, basically that's what today is. So get down to Stafford, and I'll see you there, or watch on YouTube if it manages to stream live. That's my week been really, just setting everything up. I've got to break it down after I finish on air, break the rig down, put it in the bag, and then we'll set off. So yeah, quite busy. Other than that, I'm work. So that's my week. So hopefully I'll have a good show when I go. And if see you down or see you online. There you go,
Awesome,
Rant.
Darren.
Thank you very much.
Hopefully we can get someone to post the link to the stream if it's around. So that would be helpful for us. But yeah, not sure if that's going to happen.
I don't think I can do it from my
Get onto
iPad.
that if you want.
Let me see if I can
Look,
find Simon's.
It's either on Emon Streams or Simon Greatbatch's.
I thought it was going to be on
channel.
Simon's.
Right.
I thought
It
was
probably
gonna
will
be on
be, yeah.
Okay.
AKA Fat Dad.
Fair enough.
That's the man.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we, while you guys are organising that, why don't we get stuck into the first segment, which is Funny Side? We'll get stuck into that. This one was brought to us from Robbie, who you guys know on the Pro Synth Network as Failed Muso. Can you guys please recommend a book that made you cry? The Complete DX7 Programming Guide was one of the suggestions. Thank you very much. It may have made you cry for different reasons. I was thinking that it made you cry because it was absolutely fantastically brilliant and innovative, and sometimes, you know, things that are so amazing, they'll bring a tear to your eye.
Beautifully logical, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're starting to sound like Trump now, Andy, so be careful.
Mm-hmm. Hey, them's fighting words.
Beautiful. All right, let's go to the next one. I prefer a Volca over a CS80. Are you a synth enthusiast? No, I'm a furniture packer. That one was brought to us by Keith in Watford. Big shout out to Keithy, if he's around. All right, what else we got here? This one's a visual one. So obviously you're not into hardware, but you might be into software. Indeed. Let me just make that a bit closer so you guys can see it.
Because
Waiting on updates. 21% complete. Do not turn off your computer.
Exactly.
Let's not patch
Thank you,
things.
Microsoft.
It's not instantaneous, is it? Right. What else we got here? We've got the Apple MIDI system here. Yes, indeed.
high-tech stuff.
What's happened to my
That's non-compliant.
my Duvalaka here?
I've
Supposed to
put
have
the
that
link to Simon's channel and the actual event in the private chat.
Link
So
to-
Andy, could you pop it into
Yeah, let me look
normal
for it.
chat for me? Because I haven't got admin rights.
Not have I.
Something's misbehaving, and I have to unplug it and plug it back in because I didn't get my really pathetic laugh like this. Because that one, really bad joke. Whoever did that, that's how bad that was. And I think this is the last one. Confucius say, men who pushes synth down mineshaft get tone of A flat minor.
Not the hobo font again. Well,
Boom, boom. Anyway, that one got crickets, I think.
it did.
Well, no one actually picked up on the analog, the analog piano. Anyway, no one's picked up on that. Let's release the beast. Where's my beast? Okie dokie. Start the poll. The poll's in the chat. If you're in YouTube, the poll is in the chat. Type ! vote space and the number that corresponds to your favorite. 0 being the DX7 that makes you cry, the book. Number 1 is the furniture packer. Number 2 is hardware versus software. Number 3 is Apple MIDI. Number 4 is Confucius. Let's get out of that screen so we're not like visually influencing you. Anyway, big hello. Why were the chatties are chatting? Big hello to the chatties. Let's say hello to the chatties. Of course, the biggest hello is to my patrons and channel members. Of course, we've got JX3D there. We've got who else? I mean, other than you guys, right? You guys on the video, I don't need to say hello to you twice.
Yeah.
If you're ever wondering why I don't do that, that's why. Keith in Watford's there, of course, because he had his little joke. Everyone wants to see if they made it. Sean's there. Big shout out to Sean. Sean actually had a good question during the week. We might actually ask you a question, Sean, that you asked on Facebook, on your Facebook post. We might ask that later on in the show, because I think it's a great question. If you guys follow Sean on Facebook, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll have to stay to the Saturday Sonority section. Votes coming in. We've got about 8 votes in. That's not that many, but, cool. Exclamation mark, vote, space, and the number that corresponds to your favorite meme. And I'm going to give you about, 10 seconds to go, and we'll close the poll, I think. I think we've got enough votes here to pretty much, there's a clear leader on this one. Here we go.
Yeah.
And there's the winner. The winner is obviously the DX7 book. Robbie not influencing us at all, is he? Well done, guys. Awesome.
Never.
Love your work. Love your work. Personally, I thought the Confucius one was pretty good. Yeah.
Confucius say.
Yeah, I thought the Confucius one. My favorite Confucius joke that I use on the kids all the time is Confucius say, "Men who drop watch in toilet is said to have shitty time." That's my favorite Confucius one. Anyway, always gets the kids laughing. I'm allowed to do dad jokes. I'm a dad. Right.
It's a perfect combination of dad joke and toilet humour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Okie dokies. We are going to get stuck into the synth quiz because I've got it prepared. I did that while you guys were doing the memes. Oh, indeed. This week, if you guys don't get it, I really feel sorry for you. I've made it probably as easy as possible. I don't even know how much easier this is going to get. This is probably the easiest synth quiz
Don't say that.
known to mankind. I'll show you how easy it is. Look at the first clue. Don't laugh. D-beam.
Oh, we all know what it is.
You know where this is going, guys. Oh, is it a Korg? Yes, indeed. Well, synth quiz has started. Wait for your second and third clues, Harry. During the show, I guess they're going to appear randomly. So do actually stick around because you'll have fun. And bragging rights are cool. Wagoo is here, so watch out. He's going to be on the... I don't know.
He's already got it.
On a DuckDuckGo or whatever he's on. Once he gets it, he sounds the horn in his studio. Oh, yeah, he's got it. Anyway, we are going to get stuck into the next segment, which is news. Yes, indeed. We have got some interesting stuff this week. So we're going to get through a couple of normal products. I wouldn't say normal products. I'm kind of trying to delineate between normal and the MIDI Association Awards one. So we'll call these non-MIDI Association products, and then I'll let you guys know when we start talking about the MIDI Innovators. So we'll start with this one. This is from ADDAC Systems. We guys have had a chat about ADDAC Systems for many, many times. They have got a plethora of modules in their catalog. It's actually eye-watering, I reckon, Chris. But this one is a servo controller. And if you don't know what a servo controller is, it's basically a mechanical motor that actually moves in a circle. And then you can actually get that attached to something and make the other thing at the other end move. And you can actually control that with CV. And I thought this is kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I float a bit different to you guys. I'm not sure why I thought it was cool, but I just
Vasco used to make something similar, but they stopped. So.
Yeah, indeed they did. Anyway, let's have a look at the vid. And by the way, this video is by a guy called Electrum Modular. So shout out to him, and copyright strikes, go for it if you want. I didn't get his permission, but God, what am I going to do? I need to show the module. ADDAC Systems don't have a video, so he's obviously got one. Let's have a look. So what you're looking at is the module over here on the right, and it's moving the VCA decay potentiometer on the Moog subharmonica. And he's taken the knob off. God, Darren, are you okay, Darren? You're going to cope with this? He's actually taken the knob off, mate.
You can take it off as long as it's not a purple one.
That Moog is now naked.
Anyway, so probably 36 seconds will get me a copyright claim. I don't care. It's worth it. I just wanted to show you guys what it does. I think really at the end of the day, that's kind of pretty cool. Right, so product-wise, let's go back to the image. It is a pretty small module in itself. It's only 4 HP. It's quite deep because it's got the servo motor. So it is 45 millimeters deep. So do make sure you've got a fairly deep case for this one. It is inspired. This is what I liked about it, Andy. I thought this was actually pretty cool. It's inspired by, where did I read it? Neil Young's Whizzer. Do you guys remember Neil Young's Whizzer?
Yep.
Ian does? Good?
Yep.
Which they're saying it's way ahead of its time. It was a great example of how great ingenuity and engineering can come together to make something great. In fact, what I might do while you guys
the Gizmotron, but not the Whizzer.
Let me see if I can find a YouTube video on Neil Young's Whizzer, because I think there is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there is. And it'll just remind you guys,
Okay.
Neil Young Whizzer.
Yeah, there's a 2.5 minute video on how it works. Do you want me to?
No, I've got one here.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, yeah. Let's just go to here. I'm probably going to steal some guy's video, but hey, what do we care? So this is basically another servo control thing, but here we go. Here it is, right? Same sort of deal, right? It's moving knobs. Yeah. There you go. That's the Neil Young's Whizzer. Pretty cool. Anyway, so the servo motor itself can be digitally controlled to go to a precise angle. The motor is controlled by a microcontroller that receives incoming CV voltage 0 to 0, 0, 0. I don't know. Don't tell me off. People tell me off for saying 0. I'm sorry. I'm Australian. 0.
What's wrong with 0?
0, 0. What's wrong with that?
It's not 0, is it? Not.
It not be, mate. It not be. Anyway, plus 5 volts is 0 to plus 5 volts, and it linearly converts. That's a good word for you, Chris. To this voltage range of to 270 degrees of servo motor range, which is pretty cool. So not 360, but 270. So if those thinking,
don't go more than 270 anyway.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense. And also, you don't want the thing to tangle in itself either, because that would kind of be sad. Your cables getting tangled up. I mean, it's like my Woolwart box. That's what it would look like in the end if it was 360 or more. It doesn't draw much power. It's only about 300 milliamps on the plus 12 volt rail, so it's pretty good in that sense, which is pretty cool. I thought that was nice because I thought, oh no, here we go. This is going to like suck a heap of power out of the power supply. Not too bad in that sense.
Thanks to drone technology.
Yeah, indeed. It it does about 500 milliseconds for a full sweep. So if you're working this out as a LFO type thing, it's about 0.5 hertz tracking, which is pretty cool. It has a compatibility with 6mm potentiometers, which is pretty much the standard. And you saw with that video that he took the knob off. So that's kind of, the naked part of the potentiometer. The potentiometer
shaft,
without its clothes
the
on.
Shaft.
The shaft.
It's the technical term.
Yeah, indeed. I don't know. It's 120 euros to get it, which typically could be anything from, depending on the dollar, $150 US, something like that. I'm not sure. Andy, you're probably more on top of the euro to US conversion. It's actually kind of dropped a little bit.
Not lately. Yeah.
Because of all the tariffs. Good on you, Trump. Other than that, thoughts, comments. Darren, I thought of you with this, with the purple man playing with knobs.
Exactly. This could be. At first, I thought, I can't see it. And then, when you think about it, for keyboards or anything that's got no MIDI and obviously it's not CV, it could actually become quite useful. And even for live, I think it'd be quite interesting as well. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. It's not going to be for everybody. Not people are going to particularly want it, but it's one of those things that you're going to get and then start thinking of uses and come up with things that you didn't think you would want it for, and you'd go, aha, this could be interesting. So in that respect, I think it's quite cool, yeah. I like I say, it's not going to be for everybody. People are just going to go, what do I want that for? I can just MIDI it or CV it, but there is certain things where you can't do that. So, yeah, I like it.
Awesome. Anyone else want to make a quick comment?
I support people who come up with harebrained ideas like this.
Again, these have been around for a while in different forms, but it's a shame that most of them disappeared. So it's good that we're still making stuff like this. So
I like the fact that this uses that flexible cable, like those screwdrivers that you can put around corners or drills and stuff. It's a good idea.
The spring cable. The spring cable.
Yeah, I thought that was like, that was kind of the missing link that I couldn't think of how you made it work, but I was thinking elastic bands and cogs and stuff like that, but I never thought about the flexible shaft. So that's very clever.
Yes. As long as you don't get shafted when you're using this, that's the main objective here.
I suppose as long as you've not got it too far away from the unit as well. It depends on how long you can get your flexible.
I was thinking about this, guys. I actually thought, wouldn't it be cool if they could make like one that was kind of that you could just plonk on top of your knob on your synth that had the servo motor in it, and then just have the wire connect to it, and then that way it didn't need the shaft moving and things like that. That was kind of what I was thinking of. I guess it would probably be, a reasonably sort of contrived contraption that would do that. But then you could have
bulky, but yeah.
Then you could have a few being controlled from one module, maybe. And you could have that sort of motorized thing going on.
With that kind of thing, you've always got the problem of you need a fixed point to push against, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So how do you fix it to, I'm saying, magnets? Well, the problem with magnets is that a heck of a lot of gear now comes with aluminium front panels.
Yeah.
You can't
Well,
use magnets anymore.
I was thinking just the little where you chuck your knurly, the little mounting point on the module would be a good place to go from. Yeah. And usually most modules will have two, so you've got something to control the left, right.
Even if you could just attach a long rail, just using 2 points that you're not using, there you go. You got a fixed point. You can attach things to it and slide them up and down to the right position.
Yeah,
but is that only on the rack? Because if you're going to something to control off the rack.
Yes, that's a good point. Desktop module may not have the fixing point, but
but off the rack, then Darren, you've got the flexi hose thing that this thing's got. The flexi shaft.
Yeah,
thing.
That's what I mean. It depends on the length of your flexi hose, or to where you can put your gear next to the module. If it's on the other side of the room, you're going to be a bit. Although it would be quite interesting having moving cables across.
Anyway, very interesting.
But for a live setup, I've got ideas.
Awesome.
I mean, it could make some animation.
Yeah, exactly.
Not saying puppets or anything.
I like a puppet. I love a puppet.
But I don't know if you can get a camera in, like a GoPro or something, get it in close and get it showing this knob being moved mechanically, and then you could put that up on a screen in your live show, and people like that sort of stuff. That they like seeing that sort of innovative stuff. Could be an idea
it's
anyway.
Just something different.
Yeah.
I see. We've already started thinking of ideas.
All right.
That's what this product is.
Well, this will branch out into something interesting. Excuse me. Oh, dearie me, hang on a sec. Okay, we're going to go to the next one. That is not the next one.
Ooh.
Wait a sec. What happened there? Pause while we sort out this drama. Next one should be... Ah, dearie me. I forgot to index the images. Didn't I? Indeed I did. Low battery mode, what? What are you talking about?
It's going to be one of them days runs where stuff happens, stuff goes wrong.
It's not me, it's something else. I'm just wondering what the hell it's talking about. All right, cool. Next thing is this, which is by Error Instruments. We've shown a lot of Error Instruments stuff over the years, I guess. And this thing's called the Quantum Cloud. Who's seen this? I think this has been around a little bit. Chris will like the little controller on the top left that's controlling everything. Very recognizable, that controller there. So this is the QMG3 Quantum Cloud. It's handcrafted. So all of these, they've got different kind of flavors to these. The banana connections, and they've got like a, I don't know, popcorn or a candy version. It's all kind of all sort of weird. Anyway, they're all handmade. These are going to be hard to get. So if you do like this, you'll probably want to get yourself an order in now, because they're kind of like one of these sort of synthesizer art type products, if that makes sense. It was only just unveiled on the 17th of July, so it's a pretty new thing. You've got 4 light controlled oscillators on this, and it responds to ambient light as well, and to each other, of course. And it creates this evolving sonic interaction between things. You'll notice also there's those alligator clamps, or clamps, what do you want to call them? They're your little sort of patchable modular structure where you can connect things up, you know, to these little posts and provide control voltage to other things as well. I mentioned before, it's got a hand painted. Okay, what's happening there? Who's doing that to me? Okay, what's happening there? Who's doing? That's you again, Chris.
Chris is trying to turn back time.
Anyway,
he's working on something.
It is inspirational things. This he reckons this in. So target audience is for people who are into art and music installations, experimental musicians, sound designers who like immersive type sculptural type stuff. All right, let's have a look at the video and we can have a listen to it. I'll stop crapping on. I think that's probably enough. I think we've got to get the idea. You can see when the lights are flashing, going dark and light, and it's actually changing the pitch, and it's changing a few other things as well. And then obviously he's changed the patch points and things like that to make it look kind of interesting. There, pricing for this, it's kind of, I'm trying to work out. This is actually a bit tricky to work out. Anyway, there's links to all this stuff on the Synth Geekery blog post, which you see the link down the bottom. Anyway, pricing for this, you're looking at retail of around 460 euros. Now that is $480 or something like that, apparently. £390 apparently, according to my calculations. But there is apparently a kit version, and I couldn't find any information about that, so I don't know how I've managed to get that information. But they're saying that there is a kit version where you can build this thing from scratch, I guess, and that would actually be quite considerably cheaper because you're not paying for the hand-painted elements of this. So you're actually just getting the electronics and, you know, soldering and things like that and putting it together. So the price kind of does dictate the art factor, is kind of what I'm sort of getting at there with the fully assembled one. Anyway, thoughts, guys, of the Quantum Clouds by Era Instruments?
I've just been looking on the website trying to see about buying one, but it's quite difficult to. There's a picture of a really nice one on the website, which is actually better than that. You know, like I say, an amazing piece of art.
Is that the
really.
candy one? The one that you're looking at? The candy?
It's the art gallery collection, Quantum Clouds by Paul Tejas.
Right.
Looks amazing.
Well, Paul
I
Tejas
have
is
to
the
say,
guy.
I've got a lot.
He's the guy. He's the Era Instruments guy.
I love it, but I have got lots of stuff that'll do this anyway. But if you buy it as a piece of art, then stick it. Buy it as a piece of art and stick it on your wall.
Yeah. Well,
But
art that you can play.
It seems quite difficult. I'm wondering if they're already out of stock, because there doesn't seem to be a link to actually buy it.
Oh, okay. So
find.
there is a bit of news about that. They're actually on summer break. I keep forgetting because it's freaking cold where I am. Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
It's only. By the way, it was 0.3 degrees here yesterday, where I live. Just so you know, it does get cold here. Anyway, they're on summer break between the 28th of July and the 25th of August. So if things are a bit scarce over at Era Instruments, it's because they're on leave. They're on holidays.
Fair enough.
Maybe contact them after the 25th of August. But anyway, look, hey, I like this stuff. It's innovative. It's going to float somebody's boat. Like you said, Ian, you could chuck it on the wall, couldn't you?
Exactly. I love it.
I think from a performing point of view too, you could. I mean, this thing looks pretty small. If you guys know how small that little pick controller or that little, digital controller is up at the top left-hand corner, you'll work out this thing is probably like that big. It's not very big. So
Carefully, it's a modular gateway. So,
but if you're going to chuck it on the wall, it's not going to be huge. It's going to look like a postage stamp on the wall, isn't it?
Yeah, but just put a big frame around it.
Yeah, put a big. It needs to be connected though to power and things. So I think
it does.
If you're gonna,
it does.
You got to play with it somehow, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I like where these things go, and you kind of feel like, you know, where do you want to take this? It's kind of like it's cool, but it just there'll be a point where it just doesn't do anything else, and you just kind of think, okay, I've done that now. It's not really able to do anything else, so I'm going to put it in a box in a drawer. It's probably one of those things, and you got to be careful with those because you may not ever get it out again.
Yeah, I think it's initial play time, and then sort of right. I'll get back to what I normally do, type of thing.
Yeah. Unless you're one of these arty type musicians who gets a lot of people, you know, you're doing a lot of.
But it's all light control, isn't it? I'm getting this right, isn't it? So it's all so you're gonna have lights
and control voltage. Yeah.
Yeah, which might get a bit headachy after getting the lights on and off, and
yeah. I don't know if you could incorporate it with the disco lights. I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, we'll move on from that. But Paul does interesting stuff anyway. From
It's interesting. It's like I say, it's an experimental machine.
Awesome. Next is, I don't know why it's not showing the next. It should show the next. Oh, okay. I know why it's not showing the next, because we're on the video. There's the next. Darren, you can stay there. The Behringer have released another Boga Foga. Indeed, they have. It is the BM12, the ring mod, which was the MF102, if you guys are wondering what the Moga Foga version was. It's a really crazy video again. I think we'll have a little look at it because
they're basically going to release all of them, aren't they?
I hope so. Yeah. And I hope they release that one that was never released too. But anyway, let's look at this one.
Have one of the most elusive and strange creatures in the sonic world. A rare and peculiar species, it thrives in the hands of the adventurous. Merciless in its approach, it takes innocent sounds and twists them into metallic, alien creations. Welcome, Behringer BM12 Ring Modulator. Yeah, this is an odd one. Its sound unlike any other. Metallic, otherworldly, it can transform melodies and chords into something completely new. The Ring Modulator is a sonic disruptor, a creative force, and one of the most mysterious effects in music. It's a creation that bridges the world of synth and guitar to create uniquely fascinating textures and sounds. But where did this curious creation come from? To understand the Ring Modulator, we need to go back, way back. The Ring Modulator wasn't originally intended for the music world. It was born in a lab, designed to be used in radio and telecommunications. But it wouldn't be long before its sonic potential was realised. One of the first moments the world heard ring modulation was in 1963, with the voice of the Daleks in Doctor Who. Alien and menacing, it was a sound that made its way into the sweet, sweet nightmares of the baby boomers. And that was just the beginning. It would crop up time and again, but perhaps most famously in the hands of an even darker force, Tony Iommi of Black Sabbath, the godfather of heavy metal, utilising its unworldly sound to create the profound and striking solo in Paranoid. Now, I'd love to play the solo for you, but we'd definitely get a copyright strike. But with the main solo pan to the left and the garbled ring mod on the right, it sounded something like this. And the same idea works great for some lovely melodic synth chaos as well. That's the thing about the Ring Modulator.
I think we've heard enough, guys. Interesting videos these guys are doing at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of semi enjoying them, but at the same time semi cringing. It's typical Behringer. Anyway, so
Listen,
look,
trying.
the bottom line here is you're looking at probably, they're saying 120 something is the RRP, but I think it'll probably be more like 99 when it hits the streets.
Agree.
It's going to be really cheap to get a ring mod in a pedal. They're all analog. They've replicated the Moga Foga circuits, I think. I don't know how much to, but I think to as best they can.
It's a pretty simple circuit.
This one should be pretty close, I feel. I did a song actually on one of my albums called Outback. Sorry, Outback. Hang on. I can't even remember what my song was called. Outback Post or something like that. Anyway, it's like a really ambient Outpost or something. It's like a really ambient thing, but it's full of the Moga Foga, the MF102, all through it. It's all throughout that song. So I'm sure you guys have used ring mods in your synths and you've used them in all sorts of different stuff. So this is not really going to blow your mind in terms of what it does, I guess. But I feel like if you've never really had an analog ring mod before, if you've always used digital ones or ones that are software based, it might interest you, I guess. That's kind of where I'm going with it. Anyone want to add to that?
Yeah, it's a great sound.
Point of difference.
Yeah.
A point of correction. Behringer. Not that really there's any point in correcting Behringer because they just do whatever they want. The ring modulation sound was not used on the Daleks in Doctor Who. It was used for the Cybermen.
I think Chris
I'm a
is
nerd
right.
and I can't stand... The Daleks is using amplitude modulation.
It was. Yep.
Well done, Chris.
Exterminate.
Anyway, it annoys me every time I hear it repeated.
Yeah, it's kind of like when they talk about the Doctor Who theme song, they always talk about the 80s one. And they always say, "Oh, it was a CS80 or it was a ARP Odyssey," but the original one wasn't. The original one was using cassettes and all sorts of kind of other interesting things. So
Yeah, Daphne.
yes, so people sort of mistakenly say things. Absolutely, yeah. Now. One of the things that you could use this for, in addition to what this is obviously used for, is the LFO, and that LFO might actually be handy to drive a couple of other bits and pieces with it. And because on the back you've got all that 1/4 inch connectivity, or the 6mm cables, right? Because it's mainly for guitarists. That's probably why I've gone that way. But also Moog, the old Moog modular stuff was all that size anyway. But the LFO connection might be handy if you connected it up to your modular, and if you use the rate on this to power other things, you could have that sort of synced modulation thing going on, which you can do because it's got an LFO output connection on the back. So I thought that was a pretty cool feature. And I thought that was a cool feature of the original Mogafoga anyway. The other thing that you can do too is play around with the way the carrier oscillator works as well. So, because you know how ring mods work, right? So you've got the original audio going through and you've got the carrier oscillator. So you can actually override that with an external connection as well. So that might be some interesting sort of effects too. So yeah. That's kind of it though. Drive will just kind of drive it a little bit overdrived. I don't think it does anything crazy overdrive though. I think it's kind of subtle. It's probably, if I was to guess, it's probably internally wiring the output back into the input in some sort of very rudimentary way, I feel. Chris, what do you think? That's probably what they've done, right? Because I know that they've been doing that since, mini Moogs.
Feedback, yeah.
Yeah.
Gives it some extra drive and fatness. A bit of instability.
If you listen to the video, it never really had like a massive drive sound. It
wasn't distortion, was it? It was just a bit thicker.
Just that extra sort of oomph. Yeah. They reckon this is going to be shipping late 2025, and you can pre-order them now through Thomann, I believe. Someone needs to confirm that with me. I couldn't actually find the link on Thomann's website, but they're saying that on various social media platforms that you can pre-order now. Maybe it's not Thomann that you can pre-order it for. Someone can let me know in the chat if they've seen it, pre-order it. Are any of the Mogafogas pre-orderable at all? Okay, Wagoo's saying he saw it on Thomann. Cool. There you go. So they were true. I didn't actually see it myself, but I didn't really try hard. Should we move on? Are we getting sick of Mogafogas now?
Wait, there's more.
There will be more, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. You did warn us they were all coming.
Yeah. Why don't we get stuck into the next segment, which is, really we should be sort of giving a little sort of graphic, shouldn't we? I think we should. The next segment is still the news, but we're going to call this the MIDI innovation news. So there's the graphic. Just take off that for a second. The MIDI innovation side of things. So the inventors of 2025 are going to get a nice little look at.
I've just looked at Anderton's in the UK, and you can pre-order it from Anderton's for £99.
There you go.
So you're right about the price.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah,
Which is 200 smackaroonies in our land
yeah.
when it eventually gets here in 2043, after it's been delivered by Shank's Pony. Right, we should go to the first MIDI innovators. I want to do this one first. I thought of Robbie when I showed this, when I'm showing this, because this is the OPL studio. Now, if you guys know anything about the OPL, it's quite a famous FM synth engine that's been around for a long time. So these guys, Cheerful Electronics, part of the MIDI.org Innovations MIDI Awards for MIDI submissions. This is a compact standalone MIDI-driven FM synth built around 2 OPL3 chips, and it gives you up to 36 channels of polyphony and full control over the classic YMF262 sound engine, which is the old famous Yamaha chip. It presents 2 retro-style Windows 3.1/Windows 95 style user interface, which is a 240 by 320 character TFT touchscreen. Isn't that kind of cool? I like that. It's kind of very retro, and it's enhanced with those rotary encoders on the right hand side. You can see there. I like some of the ideas in this. It's kind of little nods to various parts of our history, and and we've lived through it, most of us, so we know where they've come from. If you guys don't know about the OPL3 chips, they're 2 operator modes, and they're flexible for layering tones. There's, in this particular setup with Cheerful have done, there's a patch editor, and you can edit all 128 melodic and 47 drum patches. And you can also link up to 4 layers with a configurable delay, transpose, volume, and panning feature on there, which is kind of what you can also do on a DX7 and things like that as well. There is a sequencer. There is a melody sequencer which has polyphonic recording in 16 to 64 steps with velocity, pitch bend, modulation, panning support in the sequencer. There's a drum sequencer with 8 tracks for drums with volume panning per track, because those chips had the drum sounds on them. You will love the drum sounds. The drum
Supporter
sounds.
soundy, yeah.
Oh yeah.
What a studio.
MIDI playback and routing. It's got full polyphonic playback through MIDI, internal, external clock support from both channels. After touch support, CC support, sustain modulation, pitch bend, all that sort of stuff. 16-channel mixer. Internally, it's a software-wise, right? Input and output, you've got USB and MIDI DIN on the back, and there's a micro SD slot, so you can store and load your sessions on there, which has the ability to take the instrument bank files, the .bnk, the .sb, the .03, and the .tmb types of patch files that you've probably seen around over the many years. Plus, you can also do the playback media formats, the .vgm, the .dro, and the .imf. So you guys will know some of those formats that you've touched some of the old digital synths of the day. There's also a playback media player in here which supports playback of OPL formats, including tracked game audio stuff. And so that's kind of cool. That's a nice little feature on the end there. Anyway, let's have a look at the vid. There's some interesting stuff happening on here. Remember, this is a MIDI.org submission. So if you do like this particular product, you can go and vote for it. All right, so I think that'll do for the vid. But a couple of things I took away from it was that the touch screen may be a little on the small side for my big, massive, huge sausage fingers that I've got. I did like it, though. It did look a little bit like the Korg M3 style user interface. Andy, you would have probably picked up on that as well. Almost like a DOS sort of style menu system, you know. Did kind of remind me of that. Anyway, what do you guys think of the OPL Studio?
Sounds cool.
Yeah?
Sounds FME.
Sounds like an OPL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's used differently. I mean, considering what those chips are normally used for, they weren't really used originally to produce this kind of ambient kind of sounds. So
This
there's still something new from the old fish, new tricks from the old fish. Yeah, I kind of see why people are digging these things back up again and rediscovering them.
I mean, the one in the video is different to the picture here because it had 3 knobs further up.
Yeah, that's the prototype on the
So
video.
the layout was different. But it's a
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's ugly, if I'm honest, but I mean, it sounds all right.
Yeah.
I know it's a retro thing, but
Yeah, very. That's the thing, isn't it? You have to be right into that stuff, I think.
absolutely,
Doesn't
yeah.
necessarily appeal a lot to me, but I know people who are really
No.
into that kind of stuff, so it'll be right up their alley.
There we go. I think there's some work that's been put in this, is kind of where I'm looking at it. I feel like there's been a lot of work put into it. Just remember too, like when people design stuff, they may not have the pleasure of having teams of people working with them to come up with graphic design or industrial design. So if something doesn't look fancy or and you compare it to companies like Roland, Yamaha, and people like that, where they've got hundreds and hundreds of people working for these organisations, this might be just one bloke, and so he's just got a workable prototype happening. And I guess what the MIDI.org are looking at is innovation, and in this, it may not be the most fancy looking thing, but does it have innovation?
I don't mind the look of it.
You like it, Darren?
Not. I don't. The one that they're showing on the video, because this is a prototype that's showing here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the look of it. Like I say, if you're into the retro style, like that window, the old DOS system. I think I've even got a disc with it, old DOS 3.1 or something on it. Yeah, I don't mind the look of it. Yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's fine. Like I say, it's just it's a retro style. So if you're not into any, like you say, if you're not into any of that type of thing, then you're just not going to like it. You're just going to say no. But yeah, I don't mind it. I think it looks quite neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. You can vote for this, like I said before. So MIDI.org is the place where you can vote for it, and voting closes on the 4th of August. So you've got about a week, I guess. The other thing too is you can actually buy it as well. This is actually for sale. You can buy it on Tindy. There'll be a link in the article that you can see listed below. The assembled unit is $189 and you can actually buy a DIY kit for $145 So just to give you a couple of conversions, Australian for the assembled is about 300 for us, Chris. Euros 175, and British pounds is about 150 from the old Dart. That's for the assembled version. They're saying that this was originally announced in some sort of integrated early systems of 2023. So this looks like a project that's had a couple of years already of development, and it probably needs that sort of slow development if it's just like one guy behind it. But I don't know. I kind of feel like it's pretty feature rich in that sense. Like it doesn't look like it from the box. Looking at that photo there, but it actually is pretty feature rich. They've gone through what the those OPL chips can do, and then brought out as much features as they can for you to play with. And I think I would like to see more videos of that user interface, at like zoomed in on the screen, so I can see, what they're giving us a bit more. I think we're not really getting that on that video. We're just hearing it, I guess.
That's the problem with stuff that's sort of primarily software based, is that if you're not showing the hardware you can get in 10 seconds, but really it's where the software's going that makes it is really the bulk of what makes the instrument. So yeah, a close up on that screen I think is, and showing all the bits and bobs I think is necessary. I agree. Yeah,
look, there is a website that they've got more information on. We can traverse that, I guess, if we want. But I thought we'll get through the innovators first, and then if we want to revisit any of these, some of them have got websites, and there's probably more information on them anyway. Oh, excuse me. So let's go to the next. The next one is by This Is Noise, and this is called the Gamma. Now the Gamma is actually pretty cool. This is a fairly small looking device. It looks kind of semi-open source electronics, but in a kind of clean way. I do like the look of. That's a render, by the way, that interface that you can see there. I got a really bad WebP photo with a grey background, and I just you photoshopped all the grey background out so you could see it, made it look a bit nicer. But basically that's what it looks like. Anyway, so This Is Noise Inc. is the company that's doing this. It's a compact mini synth with a unique interface that combines 7 chords and 7 independent notes mapped to a selectable diatonic scale, and it ensures everything you play is always harmonically in key. And it has a personality-packed feature with a thing called a virtual pet nickname Gamagotchi that evolves as you play it, delivering a playful interactivity throughout a small OLED screen. So you can see the Gamagotchi on the screen there.
I mean, you got to keep it fed and everything.
You might have to with music, Matt Darren. You might have to keep playing music. I'm not sure. That's probably how he gets hungry. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the synth, because we can nerd out on that. 10 oscillators with the hardware and sound engine. You've got 4 waveform types with an ADSR type envelope, low pass and high pass filters, 14 low profile keys, which you can see there, triggering the chords and melodies independently. The control interface has the 2 thumbsticks, which gives you live manipulation of octaves. Okay. So you'd hold it like that. Yeah. And you'd sort of, almost kind of like Sony PlayStation-like style. Yeah. 4 assignable knobs, those knobs across the top. They can be used 2 for chords, 2 for notes, or for parameter adjustments, depending on what menu you're in. There's 1.3-inch OLED screen, which you can see there. There's effects and chord variations in there. There's onboard effects like octaves, up, down, difference, pitch bend, chorus, filter, tremolo, vibrato, reverb, delays. There's chord modes, so you've got susses and sevenths and ninths and parallels and inversions, first and seconds, and options to remove the root, the third, and the fifth. So there's some interesting kind of, music theory going into this, which is probably why MIDI.org like it. So connecting wires USB-C, and it's got a rechargeable battery in it. So Darren, you'll be happy. It's park bench compatible. We need to get a little audio clip for that, don't we, Darren?
Yeah, I said that we need some sort of park bench and
a little stamp thing,
or a stamp. Yeah.
Stamp.
Darren, onto it, mate. When you finish doing your EMOMs, do me up a little graphic. Yeah, Darren's park bench compatible. Endorsed, approved, or something like that.
Yeah, I might have to do like a little sound clip or something. I'm not so good on the graphics though, so anyone wants to do that, that's a project for anybody out there.
Bench compatible.
But also, speaking of park bench compatibility, it's also got a built-in speaker. Yeah.
That's what I was trying to work out. What the
park bench compatible that anybody can listen to.
Yeah. Now I'm going to.
They want to or not?
Oh, what is this thing signing? Yeah.
You can't get away from it. Yeah.
That's bus compatible then, isn't it? If it's got a little speaker on it, so you can lie everyone on there. Public transport compatible.
Yes.
Public transport. Yeah.
It becomes your butt on the street compatible after that point. So
Public transport annoyance compatible.
Yeah. That's if it has an inbuilt speaker. It's headphones. You're all right.
Now I'm gonna bring up the website on this one because I want to get the video. I tried to get the video link before, but it's one of those social media things where it's got some sort of hash on it that expires after a day, and I just can't be bothered. I can't be bothered. It's too hard. Anyway, Darren, I'm just going to disappear you for a sec so we can go to here.
Go on.
And this is their website. Now, where can we get the video? It's down here somewhere. Here we go. Let's do the video here. That's going to get me a copyright claim. Let's see if we've got more here. What else we got? Be careful because there's a lot of different people that have submitted their videos. Anyway, that is This Is Noise Gamma, which is another MIDI.org entrant in the Innovations for 2025 MIDI. You can vote for this if you like. Pricing, you can buy it. $299.99 US schmackaroonies, 449 Aussie dollar, 274 euros, 234 British pounds. Shipping in August if you buy it. What do you guys think?
Pretty.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting. Like, yeah.
It's definitely
What's the outs
interesting.
on it? Can we see? Because we know. Or is it just like a little?
What's the outs on it? The outputs?
Yeah. Is it?
MIDI output.
It's got
No MIDI input.
USB-C, MIDI out, and audio out.
Yeah. Cool. Interesting. Like you say. Pop it in your pocket type of.
It's about that big too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger than my head.
Hey, Ranzee, is that MIDI Andy guy working on any stuff like this? Any new stuff?
I saw him like my post when I announced the show, but that's about all I've heard. I haven't heard from him for a while actually. He does actually work as a contractor for MIDI.org, that guy. So yeah. He'll probably be watching this on the replay. I guarantee. It'd be asleep right now, by the way, because our time differences across Australia. It's crazy. Anyway,
Sleep. Who needs it?
exactly. Go tell him, Andy. Go tell him. I didn't get much sleep last night myself either. Same thing. Same reasons. Just too much life to live, isn't there? They should invent things to help us with that. Shall we move on to the next, guys? We've got more. The Sonoclast. I'll just move Darren off for a second. You can come back on in a second so you can see the top right-hand corner. The Sonoclast, the plastic pitch MIDI Microtuner. You guys can read. That's what it is. So the Sonoclast is the brand. Plastic pitch MIDI Microtuner is the device. Now, what is this? Obviously, this is a MIDI controller tuner. It's a leap forward in microtuner basic making, developed for musicians, composers, and sound designers pushing beyond the limitations of standard tuning systems. The plastic pitch bridges expressive playability with the precision of digital control. Okay, enough of the marketing talk. What does it do? It's an intuitive one knob per note interface. It has 12 tuning knobs. The black and whites are the black and white key layouts, which you would have probably almost guessed by looking at that, because you've got the 2 and then the 3. And then you've got the synth voices, which are simultaneously across the sort of outputs. So each knob is a 1 cent resolution with an optional scalar scale quantization. There's the 4 MIDI outs on the top, which you can see 3, but there is 4 because one is USB. It allows you to microtune multiple stuff at the same time. So you can do all that. Also, it does support MPE. I guess there's all of us now have MPE. You know, if you've got Ableton 11 plus or 12, whatever. The other thing too, I guess, that's important about this is that it's MIDI 2.0 compatible for when MIDI 2.0 comes out. So all this stuff will be able to take on MIDI 2.0. There's a basic pitch bend thing on there as well, and there's a MIDI tuning standard system in there which you can configure independently per output, which is probably why the MIDI people like this. So if you guys are into weird tuning standards, different scales, different tuning, different whatever, you can configure this thing to do multiple different tuning standards per output. And then on top of that, it does have a web-based configuration tool, which is using the Web MIDI feature. So you can deeply customize this through your browser. There's, by the way, that web thing is just, you can just have a HTML file loaded onto USB thumb drive. And so it doesn't need to be hosted on a website that goes down after a year because the guy's out of business. You can save that HTML file somewhere. And lots of guys who do synth stuff, like Expert Sleepers, do that, for example. It does support scalar file,
Client side.
which is the .scl format, if you guys are interested, if you know a little bit about scale presets. It also, as I mentioned before, supports MPE controllers, but not only that, it does tuning automation through MIDI CC, and it has multi-timbral tuning possibilities. It's a Asian guy that's invented this. I don't know his name, which is unfortunate because I would have liked to have known his name. But let's have a look at the video because it's pretty cool. He's pretty happy with himself, this guy, and so he should be.
Box unlocks pitch for MIDI synthesizers. Hey, it's Kevin Chang, and I'm excited to announce the release of the Sonoclast Plastic Pitch MIDI Microtuner. The basic idea here is that you tune each of these black and white knobs to create a custom scale. So for example, if I turn the E to the left, then every E will sound flat, and if I turn the E to the right, then every E will sound sharp. Let me show you how that sounds. I want to talk about using scalar files to specify a custom scale. Here's an example of a quarter tone scale in a scalar file. When a scale is activated on the plastic pitch, instead of tuning continuously, the knobs will step through the values in the scale. So next, I will play like before, tuning the E, but instead of hearing it tuned continuously, you will hear it step through one quarter tone at a time. So finally, I want to point out the multiple inputs and outputs. But before I forget, please do subscribe and follow us. We have an email newsletter at sonoclast.com, and there will be more videos showing many more features of the plastic pitch. So the multiple inputs and outputs, there are 3 DIN inputs, 3 DIN outputs, and a USB MIDI input and output. So altogether there are 4 MIDI inputs and 4 MIDI outputs. And the purpose of that is so that you can tune multiple synthesizers at the same time. In fact, depending on the synths used, you can tune up to 13 polyphonic voices. So for the final demo, I'm going to tune 13 voices simultaneously using the 12 knobs. What you'll see is me turning the knobs and the tuning will change, but what you won't see is that my DAW is playing 13 tracks at the same time. Each of those 13 tracks is routed through the plastic pitch and then routed to a synth voice on a synthesizer. And each synth voice will be tuned to the same scale that's specified by the knobs on the plastic pitch. Thanks for watching, and please enjoy.
Anyway, I think we get the idea. That is.
And on that micro note, I'm going to have to leave you.
All right, Darren. just say goodbye to
Darren.
everyone.
Have a good gig, mate.
So,
Have fun, Darren.
so
Break a leg.
I'll take care. Have a good show.
See you,
Tune
buddy.
in if you
Cheers.
can't get down to Emon Stafford.
No worries,
care.
mate. All the
Have a good
best.
See you there, mate.
Awesome. So,
See you, Ian, Nans, Chris, Andy.
see you, Darren.
Yeah.
You can buy this, as you probably Kevin mentioned in his video. So $675 is for this. A little bit on the pricey side. That's about $1,000 Australian, by the way. 608 euros, 527 pounds. Yeah, it's on the pricey side, guys. So unfortunately, but these are boutique-y things. But anyway, you can vote for this in the MIDI.org innovators.
So I like microtonal stuff. Yeah, obviously the Terra has. You can do the weird microtonal stuff on there. And
I was going to say about it, Terra.
yeah, but the problem is, as clever as this is and does a lot of stuff and it's very hands-on, there are microtonal scales that are way off 12 knobs or 11 knobs or whatever, right? So like the Harry Partch 48 tone scale, it's impossible to play on this thing because you need 48 tones available at once. And so I understand why he's doing it this way, to approach microtonal with a more familiar layout. But if you've ever seen some of the microtonal controllers like the HPI units and some other stuff, you can't have traditional keyboards for a lot of the microtonal stuff. It just doesn't work. You can experiment with it, but you're never going to do the full microtonal range. And
Yeah.
so it still puts you in a box, pun not intended. There's a literally just, I can only do so much microtonal at once. Otherwise I'm turning knobs constantly and you're kind of guessing which tone you're on. So I don't know. It's cool, but it's a lot of money for something that's not really addressing the whole microtonal experience.
Yeah, I think the other side of it too, Andy, would be that you've got that web-based editor, which I didn't actually get a chance to see if he had it on his website. We can have a look in a sec if you like. That web-based editor might open up that sort of microtonal weirdness thing that you were talking about. But like
not
you said,
with the standalone box.
It still doesn't solve the one octave knob manipulation. But you can actually change octaves with those arrow buttons up the top.
But now you're guessing because some of those tones are not equivalent. When you're, like I said, like one of those famous scales is 48 tones. You're going to go to a different octave and you don't know what tone you're on. You're guessing, right?
Yeah, and in that case, you'd have to use the scalar file, which is probably the way to go around it. But like, it's not going to be something that you would easily, like you said, easily set with this because you'd be doing each octave. It'd be a pain.
Yeah,
so
you're better off using a computer. To be fair,
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not what it's kind of for. I'm just going to have a quick look on their website if they do have.
Again, clever idea. I'm not knocking the effort and everything, but it's making microtonal in a smaller range than it should be because the whole point is to expand your palette.
Yeah, it's kind of a gateway to microtonal, isn't it? But this is kind of microtune versus microtone.
Because HPi already made a
It's
module
changing.
that does a lot of this,
Yeah.
and it's really cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's a stack of videos on his website. Anyway, you guys can go check it out. By the way, he called it Sonoclast. Sonoclast.
Sonoclast.
Kind of,
yeah.
I feel like he was pronouncing the second O like an I, but interesting. Anyway, I don't really think this would be anything that I would ever use, because I'm just not really sort of across this sort of stuff. But I'm sure
It's very niche.
Sure, there's people that like this sort of stuff, right? Yeah. What are the chatties saying?
If you're a frustrated piano tuner, you'd probably love this. Ding, 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 ding. If anyone's had a piano tuner in their house, they know what I'm talking
I
about.
have, yes. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And if you want more sour notes, just play a Rolly Seaboard badly. And you go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even going to go there, Andy. Playing my wetsuit.
Squishy.
All right, so let's go to the next. This next one is really interesting. Using the word interesting in a kind of different way. Wow.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
Welcome to Bus.
Oh, it's got a vibe, bar. What's not to like?
Welcome to the ideas section of the forum.
It doesn't do enough.
Anyway, Morphonium is the expressive gestural, not gestational, gestural MIDI controller. It's an interesting thing. The main thing is the thing up the top that you can see. We'll show another picture of it in a sec. In fact, let's look at the video. It's kind of interesting, and then we can talk about it. Here we go.
The Morphonium is a new instrument for expressive keyboard playing. It includes a wheel board for timbre morphing, a keyboard augmented with gestural controls
on the right-hand side,
and a pedal board for expression, sustain and looping. We designed the wheels to be easy to work with one finger, unlike knobs which need a whole hand. Each wheel can control a MIDI note or CC to adjust timbre in a synthesizer. The vibe bar is controlled with the palm while playing the melody for vibrato and accurate pitch bends of 1, 2 or 3 semitones up or down. The gliss strip controls bends of pitch up to 2 octaves. The Tron allows theremin-like playing with continuous pitch and volume control.
Okay, come on.
Copyright strike.
The transer transposes a keyboard by octaves
not April
when
Fool's, is
playing
it?
closer to the back of the keys.
He's using his feet.
Three more general-purpose controllers respond to depth, the pusher, rotation, the spin it, and breath pressure with the breath controller.
Hip hop.
Clavier, anyone?
We use an off-the-shelf MIDI keyboard which connects to
Wow.
the USB host port of the wheelboard.
Same.
MIDI events are processed there before delivery to the client USB or DIN port. This allows us to implement
The crowd.
arpeggios, transpositions, and other creative MIDI effects, like the strummer.
Oh!
The key innovations of the Morphonium
Sorry, I can't handle any more of this. There's the
Yeah.
Morphonium, guys. I had to show it. Sorry, I had to.
wow.
I had to show it. Hey, if you've got an idea, you should build it. Someone said.
Hey, Ranzee, time for that
Doesn't-
clip. Tell him he's dreaming.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a cup holder.
There it is.
Where do I
No
put
cup
my
holder,
beer?
yeah. On the Spinit.
It's true.
Wow.
Guys, I know you're about to hit Instabuy. Get your credit cards out. I'm sorry. As of now, the Morphonium is only in its first prototype stage. Obviously, there's only one in existence, which was the one
I'm
was
sorry,
on the
but that
video.
little joystick theremin thing is going to break the first time you use it. It's just...
He's
The
put a
fir-
lot of work into
Sorry,
it. Though. I'll give him that.
it depends on how you use it, Andy.
Yes, exactly.
How much?
I mean, I guess A for effort, because it does have a lot of clever ideas in it. It's just the look and the feel and the use of it. You look like a real tool using it. Worse than D-Beam, worse than anything else. And it's just too much to learn, to master, right? It's just way too many things you have to now
Oh, guys,
change
you
everything
should
you
vote
do.
for him. You should vote for him. Seriously.
No.
Go vote for him.
Like
He's an Aussie.
that palm board is right off the keytar, the Roland keytar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little bar on the keytar.
I like
And so I mean, there's a
the
lot of
vibe
stuff
bar
already
was
borrowed
quite
from other things.
Interesting. I like the vibe bar thing. I thought that was kind of cool.
I guess if we're getting serious though, the problem with these things is they're all great ideas, right? This is expressivity coming out of the wazoo, right? However, it's always going to come down to the patch or the patches that you've got
Yeah.
MIDI controlled on this thing. It's
They'll
always
program
going
the
to
crap
be
out of them.
yeah. So no matter how good you've got expressivity controls, the patches are the things that are going to make them sound good. And a lot of it requires really good patch programming, sound design, MIDI implementation. All of that has to happen before you can even use something like this on them. So yeah, that would be my sort of takeaway on this. It's a great, it's probably a great idea in this guy's head. Really great idea. How it's translated into this is, I ask him, I guess. I mean, nobody would really understand.
It's the embodiment of be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. So let me just see if I can grab his comment. Where are we? I've got to get it because it was just almost, without a doubt, this would have to be the funniest comment I have seen all year on the show in the chat, because there it is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Homer Simpson's car is exactly what this is. Good on you, Wags. I thought it was brilliant, mate. Well done. I was actually trying to stop myself from laughing because that's how funny it was. Anyway,
Yeah, I don't know if this guy's is he just an independent or is he part of a university? Because something about this thing smacks of justifying your your grant money.
your budget.
See, this is what your grant money paid for. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's very impressive.
Well, that wheel controller alone is a lot of work to make that wheel controller. That's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, see, this is where all the grant money went. If you don't understand, it's because you're not a musician. Yeah.
Anyway, Tracker Jack, I would aim on with this. Good on you, mate. I dare you. I dare you, mate.
You know when you have a moment where you kind of your brain freaks a little bit, and imagine trying to perform with this, and suddenly you go, "How does half the stuff work? I just forgot how to use half of it." It's just
That might.
Yeah. There is
Be
a
a bad
I think
moment on stage.
There was a website with this. Where are we? Morphonium.org.
Yeah, there is.
He's literally got his own website based on this whole thing. It's quite interesting. Let's have a little look at it. Is it this button? Yes, it's this button. Because he's gone to a hell of a lot of trauma. And I think, Chris, you've hit the nail on the head. I got a feeling this guy's working at a uni somewhere in Australia. And
It just kind of smacked of.
yeah.
I don't know. I've spent
Poor graduate students are slave
some
labor.
of my career
so-
involved in
Yeah.
working for professors at universities, and there's just something about it that screamed professor.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
Anyway, is there anything about the guy? I want to know if he's got his name on here.
You guys have heard of the Hotzbox, Hotz, Hotzbox? This guy
Okay.
Jimmy Hotz, who was like a performer.
So
This kind of reminds me of that, but just way off the rails, you know.
So the guy in the video, I would guess, is Claude Woodward, maybe. And there's another guy behind this called Stuart Greenhill. So there you two.
And look where they live, Rant.
I know. I know.
So hi guys.
And I don't really want to. I don't
Get
want
him on the
to
show.
I don't want to throw him under the bus because
They never
honestly,
know.
I'm actually all for
Exactly.
innovation. I am.
Yeah, I was
Well,
gonna say,
yeah, no, it's a lot of work.
a lot of
and,
chutzpah to
it's
throw it all out there.
although it's said in the article,
Kitchen
he's
sink
known as a sonic manipulator. That's his nickname.
Yeah. Like I said before, I think we just have to sort of understand a bit more about the motivation behind this because I think if you saw it in a concert and it did something really amazing sonically, then you'd probably go, oh, wow. You know, like, imagine if Jean-Michel Jarre did the laser harp and it sounded like arse, you know.
Yeah.
You know, everyone would have laughed
Well,
at
since
him.
it was pantomime, it sounded just fine, right? So,
Yeah, true. Anyway.
but here's the
so
problem
someone-
with people bitch about the Osmos and the Rolly Seaboard needing a little more practice and a little more this and that to get that to work, and that is so much simpler than this. Imagine trying to figure all this crap out when no one wants to put the time in for one of those devices.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of makes it sort of a virtuoso instrument or technology explorer type technology. It's the kind
Yeah,
of
you
thing
threw
I would
all your
expect-
time into this thing.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's the kind of thing I would expect in a high end music school composing tunes specifically for this instrument, because that's kind of what they used to do.
Well,
Or like
that's
a
the
real
thing.
theremin. Nobody
The
wants
way
to
it
put the
works.
time in to learn it. You know, so forget
So
about
it's
this
not really
thing. It's a
for
lot of work.
poppy
right?
musicians.
You would literally
That's what I'm
devote your
saying.
life to making patches for this machine. You wouldn't have any time to do anything else. You wouldn't even be able to have a normal job. It would be that time consuming, this thing. It's got a lot of facets to it. And those, if you guys know anything about MIDI programming, those things that he's got on this, look at all the different controllers, right? And if you had a
Yeah.
patch that had some sort of connectivity to all that, the spinet, the transer, all that sort of stuff, it would require fairly decent.
Lots of
amount.
nerpins.
Yeah, lots of CCs and nippins.
It'll choke pretty quickly, won't it? Standard MIDI.
Yeah. Anyway, I still think, like jokes aside, I still think, his guy's got an idea and he's brought it to life. So I will give him, like you said, Andy, A for effort for that.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
on
I mean, it's a lot of stuff people want to do with sound live, manipulating things.
Yeah.
But then again, you still only have two hands. He didn't add anything to his head, other than he had a mouth thing. But he didn't move. You could be moving your head to do some stuff. You could really put your whole body into it.
Yeah, there's accelerometers. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you could do.
Yeah, there's all
Touch
kinds
stuff.
of stuff you could do.
Yeah. Anyway, I would never be able to do something like this. So, if these guys are watching this show and they're thinking, you would know jack about how to do this stuff, blah, 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 you guys are useless. I agree. We wouldn't. We wouldn't,
may not get
absolutely. So,
Yeah, we're not trying to be dicks. It's just kind of confusing because it's a lot of work
Yeah,
to learn how to
it's a bit
use this
over.
thing.
yeah. Like I said, I'm more interested to see how this thing would be developed patch-wise and like how it would come out. Pick a classical artist or something and let's see this be manipulated in a kind of weird way, like switched on Bach or something like that, to see how that comes out.
I could imagine.
Do you
this
remember
being something
Imogen
being
Heap's
proposed.
Mimu gloves?
Sorry, just before you go, Andy, what were you saying, Chris?
Yeah.
I was going to say, I can imagine works being specifically composed for this instrument.
Mm.
You know, so long form works where you're not trying to use everything at once. It's sort of things in sequence, and then you move to a different chapter of a different opus of a concerto or something, and it's using a different part of the instrument. So sort of that traditional classical sort of style of the way you used to, when instruments were invented. You know, there were people composing specifically things for them to explore that. It wasn't, things didn't come fully formed, you know. It was, you're more thinking about where could this go in the future. Well, it depends on what the composer discovers while exploring that instrument. So it's that kind of vibe I'm picking up from this. I can imagine seeing this in the future in its own context with a work that's been specifically written just for this.
Yeah.
That could be where they're going.
Yeah, well, it just reminds me of the little monkey in the 1950s on the street with the drum and the hi-hat, and it doesn't, Ian. It kind of just bleeds that, doesn't it? It's the buskers.
Absolutely.
The busker's dream.
The guy walking.
The toy monkey.
You know, the guys with the left foot does the crash, and the right foot does the hi-hat.
It's the busker's dream.
Ding, 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 ding.
You guys have got buskers in your cities, haven't you? You know, the guys that
Absolutely.
have thousands of different little gadgets, and they, you know, pulling on strings and stuff to make them do stuff. That's what this is. I'm cluing out on this. I wonder if this guy's been busking down at the Hay Street Mall, Chris.
He needs to put that thing on wheels. Or a Segway.
So I brought the Mimu gloves because I've actually tried them at an expo for an hour, and you learn gestures and you learn motions. It's all like accelerometers, positional stuff, and you get your whole body into it potentially, depending on how you use the gloves. And Ariana Grande uses them on stage as well, not just Imogen Heap. So a bunch of people are learning these new interfaces to do crazy stuff, like you want to record a sound, you turn your hand a certain way, and then you close your hand, or whatever the gestures you learn. Yeah. Some are like the peace sign, or fingers, or like the pointed finger, or some other kind of like hang loose shape or whatever. And one will start a recording, one will run it through a granular processor, and then when you have the sound playing, you can move your hand through the space, and now you have surround sound. And it's this whole kind of thing, and it's with two gloves, it'd be completely bonkers. And you can do all this multitasking stuff at once you learn the body language to do it. But like anything else, it takes practice, and it's not cheap. They were like, I think, $10,000 when they first came out. But so a lot of people are doing things like this with maybe a little less hardware, a little less investment in learning all the physical muscle memory stuff. But there's a thirst for this stuff to a certain extent. People do want to have control over things, and so
yeah. All right, let's keep going. We got more. The next thing is this, and it's a little box on the right. Obviously, the Melbourne Instruments on the left. It's called the MEMLNaut. I guess is how you pronounce it. MEMLNaut, MEMLNaut. It's a little musical instrument and research platform that's designed to explore the intersection of music and machine learning. It does have an AI element to it, you guessed it. It is developed by these guys, Music Embodied Machine Learning, or MEML, and it empowers musicians and researchers to process, generate, and manipulate sound by using advanced machine learning techniques. So notably, this is part of the MIDI Innovation Awards. So what is that? It's kind of like a dual core microcontroller, I should say, that has the machine learning stuff on there that can run different learning models, and it enables real-time audio processing and generation of that. There's a video coming up, don't worry. There's extensive input and output interfaces with this, which offer a range of compatibility with various musical setups, MIDI and things like that. There's an open source design that uses the KiCad files available through GitHub, promoting transparency for the AI stuff as well. giving us the ability to manipulate it if we want and adapt the hardware to suit our needs. It does have an interactive MIDI learning interface on it. You'll see that in a second in the video. It uses like a reinforcement style algorithm that, if you know a little bit about machine learning or AI, I mean, I did it when I did computer science years and years ago. I can remember my first machine learning thing was in Java, and we had to teach these tanks how to attack each other. And we used neural networking, right? That was the system that we used. But all of it has this sort of fairly similar sort of back-end ideology, but really the real sort of gist of it is the ability for something to adapt and evolve as it gets more information in. So it's got to be able to seed that information, uses probability and statistics to sort of throw out things that are false positives and things like that. So with music and human interaction, it's going to be interesting to see what this does anyway. And it does have a customizable firmware in it, which may be interesting for somebody. Right, let's have a look at the video. I think this flew over a lot of people's heads, but let's have a look.
MEMLNaut brings the power of machine learning into a box that you can use in the studio, on stage, or at home. It lets you navigate and explore your synths, sequences, and multi-effects units from a simple and easy-to-use interface. It joins the flexibility of MIDI with the unique possibilities of machine learning. I'm Dr. Chris Kiefer. I'm head of the Musically Embodied Machine Learning Project in the Experimental Music Technologies Lab at the University of Sussex.
And I'm Andrea Martelloni, a researcher on the project.
With MEMLNaut, we've fitted the most inspiring creative machine learning algorithms into a portable little instrument. Our neural symbiotic controller receives any control, such as the integrated joystick, external sensors or wearables, and it connects to the sounds of integrated synths and effects and MIDI parameters. You can make music by using the MEMLNaut's own audio processor, or you can expand it to control your entire studio or live rig. Start by finding sounds with a joystick. Guide the onboard neural network towards your favourite ones and transform the joystick into a new instrument that navigates through a custom soundscape. Or use the reinforcement learning mode to explore freely along with the neural network as part of your performance. We're an academic project led by musicians and working with other musicians such as Bunty and Tom Minori. These artists are already playing gigs with the MEMLNaut internationally. You can try one of our units at the Mesh Studio in Melbourne. The software and hardware are fully open source. The MEMLNaut gives musicians access to the magic of creative machine learning on their own terms, using their own data and training their own models. If you want to push the boundaries of music making with us, support this project by voting for MEMLNaut at the 2025 MIDI Innovation Awards.
There you go. Interesting stuff. That one definitely got my eyes and ears pricked when I watched it. I guess the only thing for me was that it kind of almost led me into thinking this is another episode of Lost in Space with a lot of the demos that they were doing.
Yeah.
But I guess, we don't have the plethora of time and stuff to see what they've done. There's videos on there thing anyway. But does anyone have any questions about this? Because it's kind of it's intense, I guess. It's pretty deep, this thing. But the actual interface itself looks pretty simple. Does anyone have any questions about what this does? Are you confused, or did you pick it up from the video?
I think I picked it up. I'd like to play with it.
That's good. That's a good sign. Yeah.
I mean, without hands-on or more information, I would have plenty of other questions like, why can't I do this with a lot of stuff I already have, especially in modular? I have joysticks, I have controllers, I have, and you can route things here and there, and so I mean, unless they're giving some crazy amount of modulations you can't do any other way. It's not knocking my socks off, but it's interesting.
Kosh asked an interesting question. What's the machine learning doing in it?
Yeah, so that's kind of the question I had when I first looked at it as well. There's actually a few different aspects to machine learning in this, but the easiest one to sort of get just from watching that video is that it will learn your playing style. So basically, you're going to interact with something. In this case, it's that Melbourne Instruments Nina desktop you can see there, and you've got to connect it up, and you're going to start manipulating this connected up through MIDI, and then the software on this will interact with the synthesizer, and then those switches and controllers and things like that you can see on there is part of the interface of the machine learning system. And then as you use it, it kind of learns a little bit about you as a musician. So like I said before, a bit of tongue in cheek, it can get crazy. It can get a bit like Lost in Space episodes, sound wise, but I'm sure there's ways to be more tamed with it as well.
If you do too many modulations at once, it gets wacky, right?
So that's the superficial side of it, but there's also some other things in the firmware. So I do suggest, I probably don't have time to go through it in the show, but I do suggest you guys go check it out. The guy said that it's an open source project, so you guys can actually download the code off GitHub, and if you're into that sort of stuff, and check out how they've done it. Chris, you could even build that box yourself if you had all the gear, which is cool. If you've got access to stuff like that, go for it. Those little
to be accessible.
Yeah, those little
everyone,
those little sort of jog wheel joystick type things, you can buy them at any electronic store.
Well, Depfer has on one of their modules, it's a twist, button top, and full joystick motion. So they do a lot at once.
Yeah. So the automation industries like video controllers and things like that have used them over many, many years. So they have an X, Y, Z, and an A and a B, and sort of system on it. So there's multiple.
Oh, the one, but you notice he was using the joystick with two hands. I didn't understand that. What was going on there?
I didn't notice that, mate. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Maybe so he could access the buttons on top, and while he was controlling.
Yeah, but you can do that while you're.
Because
you can do it all with one hand if you hold it right.
Yeah, you can twist it. You can twist the top. You can move it X, Y, and there's also buttons on it, and there's also. Yeah, I shouldn't do that.
No, there you go.
Up and down.
Gift time.
But anyway, have some fun with the joystick, guys. We're talking about knobs all day anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. That one to me was very interesting.
Certainly, I mean, they're 2.5 hours away from me, so if I was going down that way, I might see if I could have a play with it.
Hook it up to your Terra, Ian.
So they're in Australia and they're in the UK. I don't know if you picked up. There's a guy in Melbourne.
Sussex is in Brighton. Sussex Uni is in Brighton.
Yeah, down the road on the south coast. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I'm certainly interested enough to, if I've got family in Southampton, so if I'm going down that way, it's only a hip. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
Hey, Ranzee, what's the brain of this thing? Is it? It's not Raspberry Pi, is it?
I'll tell you.
It doesn't say. It just says it's a dual core microcontroller.
I think it's
a little article.
I think it's an ARM controller.
Probably an ARM.
Okay. All right.
Steve Smith, this must be stopped before they stumble onto something pleasing.
Yeah.
Nice one, Steve.
I need to go to the GitHub. Oh, I'm on the GitHub, aren't I? Where are we? Oh, they've turned the GitHub into a web page. I don't like that. I haven't got time to be navigating this right now to answer that question. But yeah, you guys can go find it out. I'm pretty sure it's an ARM controller from memory of reading through this about a week ago when I was putting this show together. Anyway, we need to move on. We've still got some more to look at. The next one, unfortunately, there's no link to this guy. All I've got is this video, which I took the screenshot off. So what we're looking at is so this is a submission to the MIDI.org. This is called MIDI Mesh CV. The module is the thing on the right-hand side. Chris will be licking his lips as to the controller there.
It's just a Raspberry Pi.
It's just a Raspberry Pi. Well, it's a Pico, right? Or Nano or a Pico. Anyway, whatever it is.
Yeah, Pico.
Yeah.
No, yeah, Pico.
So anyway, this is basically a MIDI to CV converter designed for Eurorack, as you can see. You'll see in the video in a sec when I show it. But it does bridge the gap between MIDI 2.0. So for some people, they're like, well, I don't have MIDI 2.0 yet. Well, it's coming. But also it has the traditional MIDI 1.0, because don't forget MIDI 1.0, MIDI 2.0 implements.
Compatible.
Yep. But it also has that CV control in it. So the kind of cool thing that I liked about it is it actually uses Wi-Fi. So you can actually you don't actually need to physically connect this thing to a computer or your DAW. It supports MIDI 2.0 via UDP, if you guys know a little bit about networking protocols. So it uses UDP as a specification. It has dual mode, so it functions as a standalone access point, or it connects to existing networks. It can have a range extender as well, so you could have I don't know really where. Anyway, maybe you've got multiple studios with Eurorack. I'm not sure. 45 meters of range extension on this. Anyway, it's got a very, very high precision. So the thing is, it's Wi-Fi and all that sort of stuff. The reason why MIDI.org like this is it offers very, very high precision CV generation. So it has, if we're going to get into the thing, it has a 16-bit pulse width mod resolution on the CV side of it, which is pretty impressive over Wi-Fi, I feel. Web control configurable. Doesn't show any of this in the video. It just shows, we'll show the video. It just shows Ableton connecting to this thing. So let's have a look.
Cat.
Anyway, interesting product. My immediate thought with this is I've got an Akai Force that has Wi-Fi and it has CV. And it can connect to Ableton.
Yeah.
Andy, you could probably think of maybe 5 or 6 other products out there that has Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connectivity that you can connect to your DAW, and it has CV connection on it. So I'm kind of thinking market research question on this, but maybe am I missing the point, Chris? Maybe.
What's the price though? Depends what the price is.
No price. This is going to be a prototype. There's no release date. Yeah. There's no link. There's no website. All we've got is just this video and the MIDI.org entry. So I showed it though because I just want to show you guys that there's the guy's called Nana Sound, by the way. But I just want to sort of mention too that some people develop products and it's almost like they're anonymous in their, in their innovation. It's kind of, I don't know if it's done on purpose that way, but it'd be nice if we knew a little bit more about what this product, was going to do. Anyway, you guys.
For those who want to stay in eurorack, it makes sense, and also, instead of buying a Force or something similar that has all that stuff in it, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. And as long as you're not doing audio, the wireless stuff is always really fast. Look at the Rolly Bluetooth stuff; it's amazing. The MIDI stuff over Wi-Fi or Bluetooth is really fast.
It's getting good, yeah.
It's the audio that gets tricky, right? But CV and all that stuff should be easy. So
yeah. Well, okay, yeah.
Kind of a bit obvious, I guess, is what I think Rance was getting at. It's like this is not exactly super innovative idea.
No, but for someone who wants to stay in eurorack, it makes sense. Yeah.
Implementing MIDI 2.0 is probably the thing that gets it in the entry into the but yeah, no, sorry, just to sort of reiterate a point here. MIDI versus CV as a controllable medium, right? MIDI has always been MIDI 1, this is like the older MIDI, has always been, I felt, laggy or jittery or just problematic in a lot of senses, especially over the early years, right? Whereas control voltage was always instantaneous. It's electrons flowing over electricity, over cables. I mean, obviously, the longer the cables, you got problems like that. But generally speaking, modular synths had that very snappy, time-based and things like that. So I don't know. I kind of still feel no matter how, if you have a conduit in between the two mediums, it's still, no matter how you look at it, it's going to have a latency. There's no way you can get rid of it.
When you've got a digital pipe between your control voltages and the thing that generates your control voltages, it's like a transporter beam. It's going to take time to transport. So, as opposed to electrons which go at the speed of light, But Wi-Fi's and technologies like this and Bluetooth are getting so fast now that it is starting to the delays are starting to become imperceivable, and certainly any MIDI over Wi-Fi is already breaking the old rules of 331,250 kilohertz serial data restrictions. You can send as much MIDI data as you want when you're sending it over a high-speed connection.
Yeah.
So kind of breaking that whole barrier.
Anyone would know sending, sysx or something like, system dump things over modern computers to older synths. You have to go and tone it all back so that it doesn't send it too fast. Yeah, exactly.
Because of the serial data.
And you could do CV to MIDI and use WIDI, but then that's more computer stuff and more junk to worry about and more cost. So this guy could clearly shrink this down. I doubt there's much in the back of it, right? It's just spaced out as a prototype, and make a small module you could put in your thing.
Breadboard behind.
Yeah, so you could do a 2 or a 3U.
Yeah.
HP, sorry, not U. HP module and have it vertically mounted like the 2 HP ones do. Yeah.
It's an interesting choice.
Take it to a live venue, it probably won't work, but it's just.
It's an interesting choice to show the microcontrollers on display in the front of that panel. I don't think that's functional reasons. I think that's very, very intentional visual language. No, I think it's very deliberate sort of marketing or language. It's I don't think it's done for practical reasons, because if you look at it, I don't think you could even pull it out. You can't get your fingers in there to pull it out. So I think
unless that USB, it might be that USB you can connect to. I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah. It's
hard to tell.
Flat. We're looking at it from one perspective.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I've gotten into trouble before making predictions based upon one particular angle.
All right,
so I'll stand back.
Yeah. All right, let's have a look at the next thing. The next thing is the Neo Harp. I don't know if anyone's seen this.
No.
I think this has been floating around. I thought of you, Ian. I straight away thought of you. Yep.
Yeah.
Right, before I talk about this,
machine
why don't I wet our whistle with some audio?
Neo Harp. Neo Harp is the instrument that lets you accompany yourself from the first minute. Select any chord with your left hand, and the right hand touch panel automatically configures the harmonically correct notes.
Practice, experiment, and within minutes, you'll feel music flowing through your hands.
There you go. That's the line. The
Nice
Neo
mustache.
Harp. The Neo Harp. Let me
Handlebar mustache.
let me tell you a little about this. You probably picked
That
up.
says
You've
hipster.
probably picked it up. It is bridging the gap between traditional music theory and practical playability. So this is something for people who either don't want to be bothered learning chords and music theory and just want to get the sounds straight to the performance. It does have a fairly interesting way that they've simplified the chord formation. It's kind of like you've got your chord, selection on the left, and then you've got your your octave scale on the right. I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this, but simplified chord layout, as you can see, MIDI compatible, MIDI 2.0 compatible, of course, which is why it's entered into the MIDI org innovators thing. Ergonomic design, I felt, I kind of probably ticked that. I love the wooden sort of feel. It kind of has a bit of a piano sort of feel to it in that sense.
The metallics are cool too.
Yeah. It does have customizable sound profiles, so you can actually tailor the connectivity with this to certain musical genres as well. It also has educational tools, which is another thing that MIDI.org like about these things. So it incorporates features that aid you in music learning. So if people who do want to learn about chords, one of the things you can do with this is find a chord, play it, and actually suck it into your DAW, and you can see it on your piano roll, for example. And then you're learning from this. Yeah. Yeah. So you can buy this. This is for sale. It's currently in the prototype stage, based on guesstimates. I think it's going to be around about $800. That's a guess, by the way. This is not something that they've actually officially told us. There's no link to their website, nothing like that. You can only find this information on YouTube and on the MIDI.org website. It's, like I said, currently in prototype stage right now. Specific release dates and everything like that haven't been announced. I feel like they're probably just waiting for the September announcement of the MIDI.org submission to find out what's going to happen next with it. Anyway, thoughts, guys?
It looks lovely.
I like it. I'm left-handed, although I play most instruments right-handed.
Yeah.
I just wasn't so sure that I'd want to play those chords with my right hand. I would,
maybe they've got a left-handed version.
Yeah, maybe they
probably will.
Use
it's
a mirror.
popular.
I mean, I'm not hugely interested in sort of machines that will sort the chords out for me, because I can play chords, But I like the fact it can be an educational tool to get people into it. You get kids interested in this sort of stuff by them just banging stuff out, and then they can start to really learn.
Yeah, but not for $800.
Well,
I think the price is.
But
that's just a guess.
Hopefully,
I know it's a guess.
The
but
price.
There's no way that's going to be cheap. With all,
No,
imagine how
the build
much
quality
effort
looks pretty
those-
good. It's
Each
gonna
one of
be
those
expensive.
keys, and those keys on the right, the right hand they're very organic shape. That'll be quite difficult to machine. So they look like they've been. This one's
Do a
been
plastic
hand-finished.
version and have the half the price.
Yeah, I
Apparently
think this will be at the top, and then there'll be a smaller product line underneath it where it gets cheaper.
Don't worry, Behringer will make one eventually. It'll be much cheaper.
Apparently, there's a few of these around. So someone may know someone who's got one of these, as in a prototype or the beta or whatever they want to call it. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's not going to be too long before it's in the market. One of the things I would say about this personally is I feel like being a kid who's gone through the motion of learning piano, music theory, going to school, doing it the hard way, which a lot of musicians have done. Like if you think about, you look at musicians who perform and you think, oh my God, these guys are amazing, they must be gifted. Well, they are, but really it's just hard work and practice and learning and time that's got them to that.
Get your hours in.
Yeah, that's sometimes you get a device like this, it might get you to what you want to get to straight away. By the way, there's other ways to do this too. If you've got
plugins,
90% perspiration, right?
If you've got pad controllers, you can get a plugin for your computer and it will do the same thing. But I would suggest, if anyone who's looking at learning, this could be a good tool for it. But I feel like there's probably cheaper and other ways to get there to learn about chords. And I would always suggest learn your majors first, then your minors, and then start working. Into the rest.
Augmented and diminished.
Yeah.
Diminished. Yeah.
It does remind me a little bit of the cue chord, because I have a cue chord.
Yeah.
All right.
Which has got a touch. It's got a touch strip where you play a chord, and then you can play any note within that chord, or you strum it.
Yeah. You can iterate through the triad.
I have a MIDI on the chord, a chord bot, the theory board, all that stuff that kind of works around this whole thing. And they're all really fun to play with. And what's cool about the theory board is it does some crazy ass chords that most people don't learn, right? A lot of jazzy chords, a lot of other stuff. And I discovered that if you run it through something like the Arturia Keystep 37 or Keystep Pro with the LED lights on the keys, as you're playing chords that you like the sound of, you can see the actual shapes of the chords. So you're playing by feel, you're playing by ear, and then you're also learning visually at the same time. If you want to continue to learn the shapes. So it lets you bridge that gap without having to hammer it in a really boring, unpleasant way. You learn the chords you like, what sounds good to you, and then you learn the shapes.
Yeah.
So it's another way to approach it.
There are no jazz chords. Sorry, Andy. I'm just looking at the website. There are no jazz chords in there. They're all majors and minors. And
no augmented diminished stuff or any kind of crazy stuff in there? Should be with all those many keys.
It's a slightly bigger image than that, but it's not that big.
Because of the emulating the omnichord, it has diminished and augmented and sevenths.
It has to have.
It does because you play different buttons to get those augmented chords.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah, but it must.
Because usually it's the row. Like the first row is major, the second row is minor, and they start doing like sevenths and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you can play. I can't remember. It's a while since I've touched mine, but it's the same on the accordion, isn't it?
I think. Yeah. I think you'd always, before you do even fifths and sevenths and things, should always do your suspendeds first.
Yeah.
Because you'd learn your majors, your minors, your suspends. Then you do your fifths and your sevenths, and then if you want to start getting into augmentations and fourths and augmented fourths and all that sort of crazy stuff, right?
See, I can't see things like B flat minor.
You know what's funny though? Like honestly, a lot of us who just say, let's strip it back. A lot of us who've learnt theory and we've played piano or keys, we've learnt chords, but maybe say we haven't learnt all of them. Let's say we've learnt 15% of them or 20% of them, which is probably a majority of people in that sort of bracket. You've probably played some of those fancier chords anyway just by mucking around on a keyboard.
Absolutely.
You've probably played them, you just don't know it. You don't know what it's called, right? G sus 7, whatever, right? You've probably done that. Anyway, I kind of feel like this, for me, education-wise, I don't know how it's really educating you just as a device looking at it like this. I don't think that educates you that way. But if you had something that displayed the chord somewhere else,
it gets you into playing music and learning some of those types of chords. And like I said, then if you like the sound of it, then you can go from there. So that's one way to look at it. Because music theory is incredibly nerdy to most people. They don't want to learn that stuff. It's painful for them.
No. You're right.
We got to be careful.
I found it fairly boring.
I'm starting to worry about the future generations. Like, if you actually look at a lot of the younger generations, and this is not a get off my lawn thing, by the way, but I mean, working in computer science, one of the first things that went from us is the low level programming stuff, the high level programming stuff. So, for example, when you did an engineer's degree or you did a computer science degree in the early days, you would have learned how to program in assembly and C and things like that. You'd learn how to program kernels. You'd learn how to program CPUs and operating systems. Now they won't teach you that because everything's all layered through those generic
They won't even teach
systems.
A+ certification anymore because it's too nerdy, right? The hardware stuff and hands-on stuff.
Hardware stuff.
And I was talking to my son's piano teacher. My son is in grade 5, and he's doing grade 3 to grade 4 piano right now. So he's learning everything the way I did, right? The hard way. I wouldn't say it's the hard way. It's the proper way, which to say. But one of the things that he was saying to his piano teacher was that he plays things in front of his friends, and his friends who he goes to school with every day, they aren't doing music at all. And his friends are like, "Oh my God, that's amazing. How do you do that?" And he's like, "What? What do you mean, how do I do it? I just learnt it and practiced it, and there it is." And he kind of doesn't understand. But then what the point was the kids who haven't done the music, haven't gone through the hard yards, haven't learnt, haven't practiced, haven't sat exams, all that sort of stuff. They just want to my dad used to say this, they want to arrive without making the journey.
Shortcut.
And that's the new generation of
all the AI tools.
Yeah. They want everything done for them so that they can just Well,
there's that Guitar Hero episode of South Park. Remember that, where the kids are all going crazy with the Guitar Hero, and then Randy comes in with a real guitar and plays a song, and they're like, "That's stupid. Go back to Guitar Hero," right?
Yeah.
So that's sadly how it's going.
It's kind of worrying at the same time. I understand it, but it's kind of, we as a society, we should probably pull it back a bit and say, it's okay to have that in small amounts, but we should all be understanding the proper way of doing things. And I guess what I'm saying is, what I'm worried about is what will be the proper way of doing things is not what I want personally. I want people to go through the motions of learning things the proper way, but then they'll turn it into, but that's not the proper way anymore. That's the hard way. We don't do the hard way anymore.
That's the dumb way, Rance.
Yeah.
It's dumb. It's stupid. Dumb people who don't move fast.
There's a reason why this country is probably 30th in math and science right now, and arts as well, because nobody wants to put the time in. Nobody wants shortcuts. Nobody wants to learn anything. It's old fashioned.
Yeah. Well, 20 years ago,
I won't say that
it was science and engineering. It's not anymore.
Yep.
It's business and economics now.
I won't say that people don't want to learn, because I think some kids, and going back a few years when we had the shop, we were doing 300 lessons a week. So those parents are paying for those kids to come to us to be taught musical instruments, whatever the musical instrument is.
But a lot of parents are forcing it.
The bigger problem is that it's not happening in schools. The spark isn't happening in schools.
Yeah, schools will drop it, and I feel like
because they can't afford to.
Well, no, it's the curriculum. The people that set the curriculum, right?
Yeah.
So
here we find that schools are so strapped for cash that the first thing that's going to go are the arts, whether it be music or whether it be visual arts, or those are the first things that tend to go.
Well, it's a priority problem, right? I mean, they do athletics big time because that brings money into the school, right? People pay for tickets for stuff.
I would say less so over here, but certainly where you are, Andy, definitely. You know?
So the arts are always last. You know, the music gets canned
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Bring it back to this, right? To the Neo Harp, because you know we kind of, this has invoked us to talk about this, and it's kind of weird. It's you know, in a way, it's made us discuss you know, where the world's going.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But if I was to play this and I wanted to play a chord, it's gonna deliver that to me in spades. But then if I wanted to iterate between the chords, so like a normal piano player would be tinkering on the other
Partials.
notes, the partials, the melody, all those other parts, right? This can't do that.
Well, they're there. You just have to
No, it
switch
can't.
the keys on the left.
No, they're not there, because
I can't read the print, so I can't see what's missing. But you can't combine things.
no, it's not. It's not like a piano, if that makes sense, Andy. So it's
No.
generating the chords based on your root note, and then you've got some iterations of the chord on the right hand side, right? But you're not able to melodically do things on this. It's not a melodic.
Yeah, we've got-
instrument.
They could program
We've
to
got
do that
sets
though,
of-
if they wanted to. So.
Possibly.
Sets of 3, isn't it? With this.
Yeah, the dissonances. That's right, Steve.
So
Yeah.
3, then a
Because
smaller.
on the chord, it's a fixed
smaller
set of
key,
buttons.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm not saying for people to know theory either, by the way, because I mean, you guys could test me and I'd probably fail miserably. I haven't done music theory since I was in high school. I'm not sort of professing to know a lot about music theory either. But what I feel like people should know is, if they're going to be a musician, for example, they should understand basic theory. They should know what the rule of how to form a chord is. You know.
Yeah, intervals. You've got to know intervals.
Yeah.
It's
There's
kind
a
of
really,
fundamental.
I can't remember who wrote them, but there's a couple
may
of really,
not
really good books.
consciously.
They might be called Music Theory for Musicians. There's 2 books. I've got them, and they really make it sort of easy or easier for a gigging musician to understand some theory to get to that point where where you know enough. You know.
I think one of the other things too is I remember going somewhere and someone said to me, "How well do you know music?" And I went, "Oh, I guess I know it a fair bit." Okay, so sing me a C note, middle C. Sing me a C note. Well, I said, I'm not a singer, so how I'm probably going to fail miserably at it. But I had to go, and I got it absolutely smack on.
Perfect pitch.
Because not only, but the thing that kind of it actually shocked me.
Well, you still fed you to do that too.
Well, that's the thing. We know it. If we actually push ourselves, we've touched music for a long time, we actually know what it sounds like. So your brain is helping you, and you can actually produce. I mean, I might have been slightly off tune, right?
Yeah,
but I got it.
enough, but yeah.
I got it close on. And most people can.
You're in the ballpark.
Yeah, most people can produce a 440 hertz. All that sort of stuff, right? So that's because we've gone through a bit of a process over the years. That's because we've gone through that. So this is kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about arriving without making the journey.
Yeah.
But look at so Suzuki Omnichord's been around for what, 35, 40 years, right? In one form or another. Q chord, all those things. It was sold to like grandmothers and kids who just want to have a melody playing in the background, a bass line, some drums, and then they do some strummy bits, and that was fun for them. They don't want to go any further. Yeah. And that's what this is aimed at
was the whole
initially.
point.
Yeah, you can go beyond it if you're clever. Like I discovered the little tapping method on the Omnichord to get a little live arpeggio thing on there. Yeah, and so this you can get more out of it with some creativity, but it's not designed to be.
It is still a bit limited.
An all-in-one thing. Of course,
yeah.
But it has to be, otherwise no one's going to use it.
Yeah. Your Omnichord doesn't have. Does it have MIDI? Your Omnichord?
It does. All mine are MIDI. I don't use the regular ones.
Yeah, I used MIDI on the Q chord. It was pretty poor.
It's good on the original Omnichord. Q chord has 3-zone strip, and the original has a 1-zone strip. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it messes up.
3
MIDI channels is too much for that strip.
All right, let's have a look at the last one, because this is the last one. It's the Aline or Aline by TATO potatoes? Anyone want some potatoes? I wouldn't want some potatoes right now.
Irish potatoes.
Yeah.
You can't beat the
Respect to these guys, by the way. I'm just mucking around. This is a compositional performance sequencer. What you're looking at here, it's a bit of a fancy way. It's just a sequencer. 16 independent sequence layers, 8 engine types, 4 parametric, 4 imperative. You've got creative control over grids, lines, 303s, ARPs, Euclideans, call and response. You can play sequence type things, and you've got a progressive sequence, which was interesting. This has really pricked the ears of a few people because it's MIDI based. Okay, so you've got this sort of layering things that you can modulate velocity, pitch, duration separately as a sequence, and then you've got performance oriented controls that you can see on there with the central display, the 6 encoders, the 16 step buttons with LEDs above them. Connectivity, you've got USB-C, TRS, MIDI in, out, sync in, out, and 6 CV gate outputs, which is 3 CV and 3 gate. I believe there's 0 to plus 5 volts, or from what I looked at on the spec. Anyway, built for live performance. It's a video. Wait till you hear the price though. Indeed.
In the interface, we can see 16 steps with RGB LEDs. Then we have 4 control buttons to control and perform those steps. We have 4 context-dependent encoders, and this is our menu button with a click. This is just a prototype, and in the final version, we don't have this encoder. It's not really necessary. This changes the input modes, and this is the page button. To connect to Aline, we have a few choices.
Let's just get this guy going.
Aline is divided into 2 concepts. We have engines and we have layers. Engines are the way that you interact and create sequences. We have direct engines, in which you puncture notes directly, and we have the parametric engines, the ones you perform the parameters of the sequence. Let's take a look at the first engine we have. When we're greeted, we have the play engine. This engine allows us to perform a sequence here on the piano. With this button, we change from seeing the triggers to seeing, these are the triggers, we have none, to seeing the notes. So let's do some sequencing.
Bum notes included.
I don't like this, so I'll
Yeah.
clear and try again.
Retake.
This is much better. But I would like this note to be a bit ahead, so we can use another engine to edit it. So with Shift and Index mode, we come to Index mode, and I can select Full Grid, for example, which is a very direct engine. So let's go back to Full Grid. I'll go to Triggers. Let's get this note and get it a bit back. Maybe ahead? Only if this thing is slow.
Okay. Interesting.
So this allows us to perform the notes. They're all in scale, which we can change pressing the menu button, then inputting our scale. Here I'll choose a G Phrygian. They're currently in the previous scale, but if I want, I can transpose them all. I could use, for example, the Swiss engine and transpose them all. This is good. Then let's go back.
All right, I'm going to stop it there. You guys can go check out the rest of the video. One of the things I want to mention about this is we've probably looked at, I want to say, thousands of sequences over the years. Wouldn't you agree, guys?
Sure.
Yep.
if you're an inventor, usually you've invented a sequencer because you've in your knowledge, right, in your head, what your experience in life, you've thought to yourself, I'm frustrated. I don't have a sequencer that can't do certain things, and you've made a little list, or I'd like to improve on it, made a little list, so you've gone and invented it. But generally speaking, what ends up happening is, and we're all going to be in this place, right? What ends up happening is you end up with sequences that are better at some things that aren't at others. And so you probably use those sequences for various duties. So we have, we all have probably multiple sequences in our studio. Some are in our DAW, some are hardware, some are built into our synths, and we like them for various reasons. I would say, tell me if I'm wrong here, but there isn't really a sequencer that ticks all the boxes, is there, on the market?
Nope.
There's no kind of like the quest for the perfect sequencer. I've cracked it. This one's going to be the last one.
Yeah.
2 weeks later. Oh, I didn't think of that. They've done that now.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to have to change my sequencer. And then you end up with the other problem, which is everyone's sequences being crippled by feature creep caused by the competition. And customers saying, but yours doesn't do what this one does. Do you need that? Oh, I didn't hear if you answered. I'm putting that feature in because someone said it. That problem.
Yeah, or you make it too complicated menu dive, nobody wants to use it. So.
Yeah. So for me, if you're going to design a sequencer, I think you got to attack two areas, and you've got to attack them well. One is we just saw in that video he was doing the sequence creation side of it, and he did talk about how there were different ways you could do it. So he only showed one, so let's not bash him on that. There are different ways you can, step based. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can create a sequence on this thing. So that's one way. That's one area. You have to get that really, really good. The second area is the performance side of a sequencer, and I feel like in a lot of cases, a lot of sequencers fail big time in the performance side. And what I'm talking about is you hit play on your sequencer, and for a lot of people, they think it's doing its job. It's playing the sequence. And that may be as far as they've developed it. But in my opinion, a lot of sequencers don't offer any playability or performance ability sides of things. And we can talk about the basics, like the ability to be able to transpose via an external input, MIDI note, for example. I'm pushing a key on the piano, and it's transposed it to that key based on the root note. There's performance things where you can, randomize, you can ratchetize, you can, change the tempo, change the beat, all that sort of stuff, right? They should all be performance based, and if you do it well, it becomes a really cool sequencer for you to enjoy, because not only are you happy with the way you can program the song, the notes, but also you're happy to play it at the same time. And you're not just pressing play and leading it. That's all it can do, guys. It just plays the notes. You're not just doing that. You're actually playing it as an instrument. So all I will say with this is, if you guys go and check this out, the TATO or the TATO Aline or Aline or whatever you called it, just ask yourself those two questions. Has he implemented the note input side of it to a point where you feel like this is genius? I love this. And has he implemented the playability or the performance side well? Would you guys like to add anything to that?
Have you told us the price?
I've only got estimates. They're saying it's expected to be at €499.
I'll stick to me up, you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it puts it into a competitive market, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if it does all trigger conditions, all kinds of clever stuff, then But
well, there's one thing I love about this show, right? I've been doing this for years. Whenever you talk a product and you guys don't know anything about it, and all of a sudden now I've just told you the price, it just changes your whole opinion about the whole thing.
It does.
That's why I prompted you, Rant.
It's a great thing, isn't it? I love it.
It's important. That's why we do the price watch thing too, right? Because price matters.
It does.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not, mate. It's very important.
Yeah.
But it is
interesting, isn't it?
I do get a little chuckle out of it when I get your reactions
We're very
from the
price
price.
sensitive now.
Especially those of us
we're
that
all
aren't getting
poor,
much
aren't
money
we?
these days.
Well, okay, let's be honest. Most musicians are poor because we buy our own gear. We don't have, we're not like Taylor Swift. We don't have billions of dollars coming in. And a lot of the income that we do make from our music usually goes back into supporting our instruments that we've got. So you're right, Ian. We're poor, and it's not a slap. It's not saying that we're on, we're homeless and things.
Wait, you get paid for making music? What's that? What are we talking about?
Yeah. So when we want to buy something, we have to make a definitely price-sensitive decision, don't we? Everybody does. Even if you are rich in music making, if you're richer, like your Deadmau5 or your Aphex Twin, or I don't know, Depeche Mode.
Those guys get free stuff though, don't they?
They do.
If you're at the top of the tree, they get an awful lot of stuff given for free.
Yeah, they do.
People want to promote things, so they gotta do free stuff.
But Martin Ward has bought a stack of modules, by the way. So you might think to yourself, he's got all those given to him. Nah, he's bought a stack of them. He's actually got a problem. He's admitted to it.
Yeah.
So that's the same problem I've got.
he needs them quickly, and he can purchase them quicker than.
Or he gets
they
them
can send
quicker.
Them to,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Well, yeah, but it's like
he still buys them though.
Even if you get free stuff, from people, it's not necessarily on your time scale. You might be like impatient. I'm not going to wait for them. I'm buying them now. Boom.
Yeah.
So. But he can certainly afford to throw money at people to hurry them up. So
that's my point. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm getting back to this thing, the A-line. I get why people make these things. What I want to question here is it innovative? Really, is it innovative?
Yeah.
We've all seen. What was that one that we had? Was it the Torso T1 or something? A few years back.
Yeah, the kind of aleatoric sequencer.
Yeah. It reminds me a bit of that. This one. That was the sort of the straightaway takeaway I thought from this. It kind of reminds me. The user interface is different.
Like a little bit.
Similarly, yeah, but
the black box with a few buttons on it.
Yeah, like a very simplistic design.
It's kind of playing from Polygon's type of playbook.
Yeah,
it's in their sort of territory visually, but yeah, it's also it crosses over into the with the clicky clacky buttons. That reminds me of the one you've got, the Korg one. Is it the step sequencer?
Yes, SQ64.
SQ64, yeah.
Sort of reminds me of that, a thinner version of that. But that's
right there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's got a screen and blah blah blah.
But even the SQ64 shits me because it doesn't do things that I want it to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By the way, Ranzee, before going through this whole video some other time, does he have chordal functions for things, or is it all just what you see is what you get with the buttons?
It's got the
shift functions and stuff.
Yeah, it's got the different. Go check it out, Andy. It's got sequencer engines he talks about, and there's this sort of layering theory behind this. So,
but just those 4 buttons and not a lot of combos, right?
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's more about. I feel like this product is more about the evolution of a sequence through those engines and through the layers. Yeah. So
it's kind of the modifier.
It's a generative type
approach.
Sequencer.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't really show that well in this video. There might be other videos, by the way. But I feel like it's kind of like the evolving side of which kind of can be kind of interesting. Personally, I feel like someone needs to grab his ideas and just do a bit better industrial design. Because I feel like he's got some really good ideas, but it just lacks the industrial design element to it, and that could maybe be a bit more successful in that end. Or maybe someone would pay him for the code, I'm not sure. But yeah, ideas are there, design maybe not. Which is once again why there's the MIDI.org Inventors or Innovators Award. Sometimes people win awards for stuff, and it might not be a huge company, like 1010, I think the bento box from 1010 Music is in the MIDI awards. So, and I know you guys remember that. It's actually a pretty cool product.
Yeah.
Well, the X Key came out of winning the MIDI awards that year.
Yeah, CME. Yep.
The year that I bought it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Apparently, according to
Yeah,
Carl Bereford, who I spoke to at Earfest last week, it's finally working correctly now. I've got rid of mine, so I'll never know. But,
I never bought one.
The sad thing is the X Key iOS app is now, if you don't have it, you can't get it anymore. So, but it's a great app.
Really?
Yeah, to tweak your X Key on the fly. It's
Yeah.
cool.
That was all right.
Guys, do you guys want a second clue for the synth quiz? Should we do that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Second clue is down the bottom of the screen right now. RPS. Ranzee prepares synth quiz.
Ranzee's power supply.
Yeah. Not sure. Anyway,
it's a power
Andy,
supply. It's a
rub your
9-volt
hands
power
together,
supply.
Andy.
That's what it is.
Rub your hands together because we're about to throw a sledgehammer into the TV screen. Indeed, Andy, you're driving this baby this week. You have been a busy boy. First cab off the rank.
Some fun stuff. Yeah. So this is obviously everyone knows this one. It's not everyone's favorite. It has some limitations for sure, but it has its place. But look at that price! Holy smokes!
Wow.
I like the
Especially
the note at the bottom.
It's not modded, is it?
You see the fine print at the bottom there?
Unknown history and function. Oh, great!
Yeah, great. Spend that much money for something that's unknown history and function.
I've been waiting for a listing. I've been waiting for a listing that says that.
So yeah, I mean these are cool. I've seen modded ones too. They're pretty cool as well. So
yeah, the modded ones.
What would you say, Andy, is a better price or the correct price for this? What would you say?
I haven't seen them for a while, but I'm thinking like 500 maybe if you're really into them. You know, but again, it depends on condition. It depends on how many other ones are out there and a bunch of other stuff. But you know,
see that section there? That's the battery compartment.
Batteries.
If you're going to list, guys, if you're going to list on any, open that up and take a photo inside of that. What's the next photo?
Absolutely.
At least he has the door though. A lot of people lose the door.
Original boxes. The original box is something that a lot of people like. A lot of people like the original box.
Oh yeah.
Pretty filthy box, but yeah, it's
people will still take it for the box. The TR-707 sounds though, you're not going to be like. I don't know. To me, it never was the greatest drum sounds.
No, but here's what I forgot. Is there a picture of the back?
Yep. There is indeed. With the serial number?
With the jacks and stuff.
No, there's not.
There isn't? Okay, because I can't remember. The most machines in this era had individual outs. I can't remember if this one does or not. Because then you can run it through effects and do all kinds of stuff and make the sounds shine. So I forgot this has individual outs.
It's kind of the way I approach 707 kits. Processing.
Yeah. Like my drum brute, the original drum brute, it needs extra processing, but it has tons of individual outs, which is fine. So it's great.
Nice. All right, next, Andy.
Yes. So look at that name there. Look who used it. It's actually used, and it's actually signed by him too. Yep. So I've never used any of the Simmons stuff. I've used like the plugin once or twice, but this is
Damn, he wrote
cool.
on it.
Yeah. But look at that price. Woo.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, you're paying for the
shipping is cheap though. Look at the shipping is really cheap.
Yeah.
A lot of times something like that would be very expensive shipping. So
there's a big blurb on there about this, by the way. I'll just show you the photos first. By the way, personally, I'm not a big fan of bits of gear hardware that's been signed. Personally, I'm not a fan of that.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Bob Moog signed your Mini Moog, you'd be pretty happy, though.
No.
No.
Really?
No.
I wouldn't care.
I don't want people to sign it.
See, I'm not an autograph person in general. Like for celebrities, I don't give a crap about it. But for this kind of stuff, it's kind of cool, I think.
Well, each to their own. But I mean, personally, I don't want someone defacing the gear.
Well, it's on the metal at least, so you don't really see it in a rack.
Yeah, true. I mean, in this particular case, I would, if I wanted Alex's signature, Alex Van Halen's signature, I would prefer a photo signed by him, and I'd frame that.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean that's just me.
I
get
like
it,
it
but
on physical things that you use.
I mean, I have some gear actually used on some celebrity musicians' albums, supposedly according to the. I didn't get a certificate of authenticity, but the write-up was pretty convincing. But it wasn't signed, and I don't really care either way anyway. So it's just, I don't know. Some people like it.
Looks like he had a few of these.
There's another one I found
12
online as well. There's another one listed as well, a separate sale.
Okay. Just one last thing, Andy, about this too. Like I said, there was a massive blurb on it. Oh, there's 12. One of 12, yeah. It's a very collectible piece of Alex Van Halen's equipment that was an integral part to the Van Halen sound in the 80s and 90s. Featured here is the original Simmons SD-SV drum module autographed by Alex himself and inscribed "More Toms" in black ink. Probably why he was spitting out his Jack Daniels, I reckon. This is the brain of the Simmons electric drum kit, which controls the sounds of the pads. Alex notably used from the early 80s onwards. Specifically, this brain was used in the 1984 tour, which is the famous 5150 album, which most people would know the songs from that. This particular brain has snare, hi-hat, 5 tom-tom modules with the serial number 307 and is in good physical condition with some obvious wear and used as in storage, being sold as is. A highly collectible piece of memorabilia if you are into that, from one of the rock's most legendary drummers. Alex is still alive too, isn't he? I believe.
It should be.
Yeah. It's only his brother that died, so.
His brother got cancer, yeah.
Yeah. All right, on to the next.
Sad.
Yeah. I don't remember even hearing that on that album. I don't know that album that well, but I don't remember hearing Simmons drums on there, but I don't know.
Oh, it'll be in there, mate. You'll know it. Go listen to it again. Right, so what's next is this one.
Yeah, this one's kind of nutty because look at that price. It just says it's restored, and also the shipping on it is nuts. Look at the shipping. It's just like, the hell?
Yeah.
Simmons was much heavier and very cheap shipping. Look at the shipping on this one.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird with the shipping. This one's in France, though, Toulouse.
Yeah, there's a whole thing in French at the bottom, so
yeah.
I think. Or was that another listing? Where they says French in it?
No, there's no French in this one.
Okay, there's another one with French in it. So.
But Andy, obviously the most obvious thing here is the beautiful wooden cheeks on this.
Yeah.
You know, the wooden surround. It's actually really quite nice. I actually really like
nice,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen people do this to their Machina Pluses and stuff. They'll add wood to it to give it the same look. So.
What's Wellixi? Is that like a firmware or something, is it? Or is that something else? He's got Wellixi written here.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Don't know what that is. Someone in the chat know what Wellixi is? I'll type it. I'll type it in the chat.
I'm not very well versed in NPC stuff. So.
Wellixi. That's how it's written. There's a SCSI card reader and LED screen, which is custom. So let's have a look at this actually. Sorry, you guys can see. So you can see there, it's that wood looks beautiful actually. It really, really does look nice.
It's nice.
I like that.
Yeah.
But I thought that was the JJOS on there, right? So I don't know. What is
JJOS is the 1000 and the 2000, I think. I don't know if it's the 3000 is a JJOS as well.
That definitely looks like JJOS to me, but I could be wrong.
Okay, I've never used it.
So he's showing the insides, I guess, because it's been restored. But it's typical Akai, right? A lot of their stuff from 2000s onwards is very computery, very PCE. So if you know a little bit about, building PCs and changing graphic cards and sticking RAM in and things like that, you'll be very, very well at home with an MPC.
Well, I have the 500, the little portable guy, and it was obnoxious because you had to buy these memory chips. You had to open the bottom and stick them in there, and it's like working on a PC basically. It's kind of annoying. So
yeah, there's a video on my channel. What's that? That's the SCSI thing. Okay, cool. There's a video on my channel with the 1000 memory upgrade, and I still get messages from people about that video. It's crazy. People are still doing it. Okay, so Velixi appears to be a third-party EPROM OS. There you go. Don't know about that.
Okay, so they have the different OS then. All right.
Yeah. On to the next.
Yeah, boy.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Friend.
Gosh.
So this one is in French at the bottom.
Indeed.
And holy smokes, look at that price. And again, the shipping isn't that bad, right? It's huge, and the shipping's not too bad. So I just like you were saying, the shipping's all over the map on these. It's kind of weird, but what an amazing
if they use gold
piece of kit
bubble
there.
wrap. That's what it calls it.
Yeah.
So this is
massive.
basically two Prophet 10s, right?
Yeah.
And there's something to do with like a P10 expander via MIDI.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how it works from memory. I'm just going off memory, right? This guy's talking in French, so I don't really know what he's going to say in here. But anyway, let's have a look at some photos. I remember Kent telling me about these a little bit once.
Yeah, it's definitely... You can clearly see that the panels are...
I've never seen one, just a Prophet 10 in person.
They're identical, except for the green buttons. So clearly it's like a module and double stack keyboard with a module.
I mean, one day someone was inevitable to go, Prophet 5, I can't play enough notes. I want a Prophet with more notes. So they built a Prophet 10. And then someone went, I've got a Prophet 10, but I want more notes.
Yeah.
So they bought a Prophet 20. I love it. What happened in the 80s? 65 grand Australian, by the way. 42 grand US.
Yep.
Well,
the weight's got to be outrageous.
Yeah. $466. This one's in Paris. My daughter's going there soon. Next.
Nice.
So this is cool. You guys ever heard of George Mattson? He invented this. So supposedly his history. Suppose he was a guitar player, and he was getting into synthesizers. He bought EML Electrocomp 101 and a 201 and stuff like that. Got into synths a little bit, and thought, hey, I should be able to make this into a guitar because I want to play guitar style stuff. So he invented this thing by kludging together a bunch of Electrocomp modules in this little setup, and made a neck for it and all that stuff. And you don't see many of these around. I've never seen one in person, but it's just a clever idea, even though it looks funky. And he also later on made the Mattson Mini Modular. And if you ever saw that, it's a different format. It's more like a little squares. And Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins had a custom Mattson Mini Modular that was the size of a wall. And if you go online, there's a YouTube video of him in the coffee shop he owned playing his installed Mattson thing called Ichabod, this massive Mattson Mini Modular, and just like hours long sessions of just pretty awful modular stuff. He's just noodling way too long, way proud of himself. But so Mattson's made a lot of cool stuff. This is just a very unique looking thing because it looks just like you bolted a neck onto an old synth, but it's supposed to be pretty expressive and sounds great because it's Electrocomp stuff.
Well, he showed it at NAMM, Andy. He showed this actual when he built it. He showed it at NAMM.
Oh, did he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I'm trying to find. There's a video. I'm pretty sure there's a video somewhere floating around of him showing it at NAMM. It's a pretty bad video.
It's awesome.
Like a VHS type thing.
Yeah, it's cool. So yeah, again, he didn't invent the circuitry. He just modified it and made it his own basically device, but it's Electrocomp guts. So yeah, you don't.
It's really interesting.
I've never
looking.
seen one in the wild, but it's look at that massive neck. Yes.
There you go. Look at those.
There you go. That looks familiar.
Very homemade. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she won.
That was another one, the clavitar. There's a bunch. I did a show with Eddie a while back on guitars and stuff, and we talked about this a little bit, along with clavitar and some other crazy guitar / strap-on synths.
1977 is the. I'm pretty sure that's the year that he released
Look
this.
at that. Wow.
Yeah,
Got
that's a connector.
Custom interface there. The pin plug.
There we go. That's a good one. I like that one.
So you already know what it sounds like if you know Electrocomp, basically. So
1980 was when he went to NAMM. 1980. And he walked by the Moog. I'm reading this, by the way, so you guys can Google this, you'll find it. He walked by the Moog booth, and only to see a non-working prototype of the Moog Liberation keytar hanging on a mannequin. And Matson returned home, resolved the prototype to produce the Syntar first. He decided to release the Syntar under his own leadership with the new company name Performance Music Systems.
A website I read also, I forgot to mention that, did say that he got it out a month before the Liberation. But because Moog had all the pull and all the massive press and stuff like that, this thing got swallowed up. The Liberation took over.
Distribution and all that, yeah.
Didn't he have something to do with Jefferson Starfish or something as well?
I don't remember. His Wikipedia page is pretty big. It has a lot of stuff on it. But I only know him for this and for the Matson Mini Modular, pretty much.
I thought he had something to do with Jefferson Starfish. I don't know. There's a lot of synthy stuff going on there, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was their main guy, right?
For sure.
Yeah. All right. That's a good one. I really like that one, Andy. It's beautiful. All right. What about this one?
This I had to throw in just because, I mean, look at that price and it's beauty and it's still working. You know, according to Kent, these have custom chips in them. So when they die, that's why he had one in his backyard for a while, just getting rained on. Because when they die hard. So, but it's, I mean, you can get the same sounds out of a Microwave 1, 2, or XTK.
Or even a VST.
This is just a beautiful interface. You know, designed by Axel Hartman, like all this stuff is. And look at all that, just all that control surface. It's crazy.
It is pretty magic, isn't it? Okay, let's have a quick look at this one.
Expensive shipping again.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to think. I mean, this thing, like Andy said, and I'm pretty sure we've talked to Kent about this over in the past. Like, if you're going to buy something like this, you're basically, it's a ticking time bomb. It will eventually die on you.
Yeah, like the Andromeda custom chips. When it dies, That's it. So.
And then your life is spent sourcing replacement chips for it.
Or crying.
Or living it in the garage.
Or put it in your yard and let it get rained on like Kent did. So,
yeah.
Oh, I've seen this. I've seen this before. This listing. I'm sure we've seen this before. Or either this is the guy who's Synth Freak. Oh, I think
extra protection on all of his stuff. Yeah.
No, I think this guy has got a bit of a name for himself. I'm pretty sure this is the guy.
Oh, scammy stuff.
Not necessarily. I'm not going to say that, but overpriced would probably be one way to go. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Oh, you love this one. It's got all the ticks.
Yeah, that's one that I picked this, and you got
there
it.
You go.
So right off the bat, you picked it. So, and you have the other one, I'm sure. So this was just to compare these two units that are similar.
Yeah, the 3200.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see that they're actually similar priced on here, even though they're different capabilities.
Do you want me to go to the next one?
They're
just so you can start?
Yeah, they both appear to be in good shape. But yeah, like the one with the green checks, you had to have the green checks in there. That basically seals the deal.
Free shipping though.
Well, it's the same dude that we were just looking at. The guy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the Synth Freak guy.
Yeah, Synth Freak again.
because you can see because he has that as the second picture every single time.
Always the second cell.
If you have to do that every time, I think maybe there's a question about trust somewhere.
It's like it's oversharing.
Just playing the game,
and it's
absolutely.
It's like the story of the kid who was trying to sneak drugs into the country in a flashlight, right? And they rigged it so there was a little button cell in there, so the flashlight would still turn on, but it was only meant for just minimal use. And the kid kept going, see, it works. And the guy's like, why is he playing with it so much? What does he mean? Let me open that up. Oh, there's a bunch of cocaine in it, right? So don't overshare.
Well, we were on the pub the other night, and I forget what synthesizer it was that Kent got delivery of, and he opened it up, and there was this weird powdery substance.
Oh, heroin. It is heroin.
It was.
Are you sure it wasn't some anthrax? That was going in the mail.
No, it was definitely heroin.
You're going to get me banned off
the
YouTube,
powder
mate.
in the mail.
Careful, you're going to get me banned off YouTube. Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, but it was a real deal. They were sending it to people in the mail. The powdered anthrax. It was bad news. It was male terrorists.
I like the synth. It's a beautiful synth.
It looks in nice condition, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
They're probably going to re-release it, aren't they?
Yeah,
at some point.
But I'd like to see what Kent would say about these, because they are similar priced, but they are different capabilities. So
this has got the CV
the chat earlier,
mod on it.
Gone.
That's got the see that picture before. It's got the CV mod on there.
Oh yeah.
All right, and I think we've got one more, haven't we, Eddie? Yes, we do.
I think so.
This one.
Yeah.
The Macbeth.
So we talked about it, I think it was last week.
Yep.
So I found this, I go, I got to bring this up, because this is the special white version. And they sound great from all the demos I've heard, but you never see them. I've never seen any of his stuff anywhere live. And then the comments basically say it all right there. Look at the little comments down there. So
I'm wondering, is Puget Sounds, are they related to Puget Systems, the computer guys? Because this is
Puget Sound is in
Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so is Puget Systems. Yeah. They're in Washington too. So up north.
Oh yeah, Walla Walla, Washington. There you go.
Walla Walla.
That was a Bugs Bunny city, Walla Walla, Washington.
Yeah, Walla Walla. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got in Australia, we've got a town called Wagga Wagga.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
Or Vaga Vaga if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Quacka Wacka.
Yeah. Well, Wagga Wagga is
we've got a street called Whitmer-Wattmergate. How's that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Shortest street in England, apparently.
Let's go to Wales. Should we go to Wales?
Go then.
Well, if you go to Wales,
it's all right.
Go to Wales. Go to a town called Wrexham and have a look at some of the street names there.
Yeah.
Very
long names. Yeah. Can't pronounce them.
There's only one photo on the reverb listing, so there's no much point in me showing it. And you've already captured the comments. There's nothing below that. A true legend of time. That's the last thing he wrote on there.
It always feels dodgy if there's only one photo.
To me, it does. Yeah.
To me.
Yeah. Can't
Some
you do a close up?
lazy too.
The back, the right, knobs that are loose, scratches.
I bought some stuff with one photo before. People are just lazy,
Yeah, but don't be lazy.
But
stop being lazy.
If you want to get it sold.
Stop it.
And as far as I remember, this is kind of a mini Moog sound. This thing has kind of a mini Moog quality to it.
Stop it.
But I don't remember.
Get some help.
It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact that the guy who's saying "stop it, get some help," because what a hypocrite, right? So.
Well, yeah. Michael Jordan, not Michael Jordan. Is a basketball guy. What was his name again? Not Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it's now I forgot. I know who it is. I just forgot the name. Somebody's got to know it.
It's like Michael Jordan, but not Michael Jordan. It's the guy before Michael Jordan.
He's the big time womanizer guy.
He got in trouble. Yeah, I think he even got HIV, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
He was the first one to get the cocktail. He's still alive, luckily. Otherwise, he would have been dead. So.
Well, you once you get it, you've always got it, type thing. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much, Andy, for doing the price watch. He did all of it this week.
Well, I've done something.
Thanks. It was fun.
Indeed.
Good stuff.
It was fun.
Yeah. Now, let's do the last clue for the synth quiz, and then we will do a quick Saturday Sonority. I think we're going to have to do a quick one. So, last clue for the synth quiz is this one: Megamix.
Wow.
Megamix. So, guys, put your answers into the chat. Just highlight my name, Ranzee. Synth quiz, and then your answer. I don't know if I've actually seen an answer being popped out yet.
I think that last one makes it harder. I don't have to Megamix.
Just whatever. Just don't Google it. Honestly, if you Google it,
I'm not. Yeah, I'm just.
You're not
trying
being
to figure
true
it
to
out,
yourself. You know. Oh, look at me! Aren't I brilliant? I'm a keyboard warrior. I Googled it and I got the answer. Look at me! I'm so good.
Multitask.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, while you guys are coming up with your answers, geez, look at the chatty's going crazy right now. I am going to launch quickly Saturday Sonority. We're going to tell everybody about Big Bad Sean's question that he had on Facebook this week, which I thought was a doozy. So doozy, good on you, Sean, for asking the world about that, mate, too. He asked, and I hope he doesn't mind me telling him, but he did ask, if you were to sell your gear, like, how would you pick it? Like, what sort of methodology would you choose? What gear would you sell first? How would you go about it? I mean, I provided him with one answer. There was a few decent answers, but what I thought I'd do is I just asked you guys, what would you? Geez, that chat's going crazy. What's going on?
I know. I was just looking at that. Sorry, what was the question? I was slightly distracted there, Rance.
Oh, the chat, yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Because Wagoo's just put in what I was thinking.
Yeah. So the question is, if you're going to sell your gear, what would you pick first? Like, how would you go about deciding what gear to sell? If you're going to, if you say you had to part with some gear to make some money, pay some bills, whatever, how would you go about it?
I would go about the thing that I'm not using and I haven't used for 2 years.
Yep.
In fact, I've done that in the past. That's exactly what I've done. If I'm not using it, good example is the Zoom Arc 96, which I absolutely hated. And I kept coming back to it and playing with it for a bit and relearning it and then sticking it back on a shelf. And I thought, at the end of the day, this has got to go.
Yep.
Because life's too
like
short.
the fact you could put the ring on your head and kind of move around into the.
Oh yeah. I've got over my neck. It went over my neck.
Yeah.
But I think like, if I'm right, Sean, and you can tell me if I've got this wrong on it, but there's a hesitation, right? He's probably got a hesitation, and it's perfectly okay to have one. Maybe that hesitation might be, will I miss it? Will I regret it? Will I? Those are the little fears, right, that we have. So, Ian, your suggestion was, if I'm not using it, it's sitting in a drawer, sitting in a cupboard, whatever. Maybe I should part with it. That would be your first go-to, yeah. Anyone else?
Definitely. In fact, having said that, I have done that in the past. I sold a COG PS60, and then regretted selling it, and then rebought one. So I've got one again now.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I'd
probably take what Ian said and add a caveat, which is if the reason I haven't used it yet is because I haven't gotten around to playing with it yet, I wouldn't sell that because it hasn't been given a chance.
Yeah.
That'd be a tiny little caveat.
That's where the regret might pop out.
And that's exactly. And if there's anything extremely iconic to my musical history or story, I'd probably not want to part with it. If it's something that, one of my heroes used, that was an important part of my musical journey that I would still be happy to recount, I'd probably want to hold on. So that's kind of sentimental. Mm-hmm. So it'd be a couple of things like that would take them off the list. But
I don't sell sentimental things. Yeah, I mean, I bought the Terror with my mother's money from the last of her estate, so I'll never sell that.
Yeah,
Now
on Andy Below,
so luckily I love it.
Yeah. Andy Below, he's and I don't mean this to be any slap of any sort, Andy, because it's not. But you're someone that doesn't very, very rarely, I think, sell anything, right?
That was the thing. My obvious answer is, what is the selling of which you speak? Because I never sell anything.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just because I'm like hoarding stuff or look at all the shit I have and all this kind of, grandiose kind of stuff. It's more like I originally got into this stuff because I wanted a good synth sampler or whatever to represent every possible type of engine I could get. So a good FM, a good wavetable, a good analog, a good virtual analog, blah, 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 blah. Some are hybrids, some are like crossovers, some are like repeats where after a while I say, okay, now I have more than enough, but I still like these features. I still like that feature. I like, again, like Chris was saying, someone who used it well. Like I watched too many Jexus videos. He's like a gas machine. Makes you want to buy that stuff to do those kind of sounds. And same thing with Music Track JP and several other guys out there who've demoed stuff. I go, ooh, I like that a lot. I didn't know you could do that with that. And so that's kind of how it got out of hand. And so my thing is, there are plenty I haven't used more than once ever or twice ever because, again, can't get around to it, don't have the energy for it right now or whatever. So that's one reason to hold on to it. Another reason is I got it at an amazing price. I'll never get money back for it like that in that condition. And some of them have become rare. So well, that definitely want to sell it now because if it has even the slightest bit of use or interest or some other kind of fun way to work on things I haven't thought about yet, I want that opportunity later, whenever the hell that's going to be. And so as long as I have room for something, I just refuse to sell things. Even that stupid ARC, I still have the ARC. So.
Yeah. I actually...
You still got the ARC, have you? It.
I actually think I owe everybody an apology because, over the years, I've probably caused people to buy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because of this show.
Finally. I've been waiting.
I think I finally got a JDXI because of you.
It's but I'm just going to say it's a very half-assed apology because it's not my fault. You guys can get stuffed.
It's your lack of self-control.
Yeah, it's your lack of self-control.
It's our lack of self-control. So.
I bought the instrument because of Gaz Williams. His demo on Sonic Strike.
I know. I remember you saying
nailed
that.
it for me.
Sure.
And I said that to him when I first saw it. It's your bloody fault. But I don't regret that at all.
So the other thing I suggested to Sean, you guys have got the two that I suggested, but the other one I suggested to him was that if you've got something and financially it's starting to make sense, and if you're kind of cluey about the vintage or the used synth community and the pricing in the market and stuff like that, sometimes it's the right time to part with something. And one of the things I did, you might remember, is I parted with my Mogafogas a few years back. Got rid of them all, and I made some beautiful amount of money on them. I did miss them. I do have regrets selling them, but I knew that Behringer were going to bring them out because they'd already teased us about the prototypes. So, a lot of people will say, well, it's not a Moog, it's not the same thing. Well, maybe it's not, but I've got the...
But know thyself, France.
Know thyself, yeah.
Exactly. You know exactly what you'll be happy with.
Yeah.
Only you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and obviously if money's an issue, you don't want to hold on to stuff and suffer, right? So
yeah. Actually, Sean said he sold his DW8000 because if he kept it, he was going to have to have it serviced. I sold my DW8000 because it started to go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have two that are still dead. Need servicing. So
yeah. So and I sold it as they knew exactly what they were buying. Didn't stiff anybody on that. I said, look, it's
well, there's one.
The keys are getting sticky.
This will probably surprise you guys. Nothing to do with what you guys were just talking about. But there was one synth that I've actually just recently sold, and the reason why I sold it is because it is completely 100% replicable and sounds perfect in a computer. And in fact, it's actually even easier to use because it's in the computer. You can edit the things that you weren't able to edit before on the hardware. And this is the Roland D550 for me, which is the Roland D50, same thing. And I don't think I'm ever going to miss it because I've got it in my Roland Clouds. It's a permanent lifetime subscription to it, so I will never lose it unless Roland Cloud goes under or something. But I'm happy. And I think with that synth too, I think it's probably, I don't know, it'll probably last for another 20 years. It's roll and make stuff pretty good, but I'm always worried about like the Waldorf Q's thing that you were talking about in Price Watch. I'm always worried about digital stuffs failing,
especially custom chips.
Here's why I won't sell the D50 or the 550. Well, it's more on the 50 than the 550, but the joystick interface, the look and feel, I just love that synth, and it's just not the same using it in software for me, although it can sound just fine. I mean, I had the boutique one, which is pretty good, right? The DO5, but it's, again, not the same because the sound is different and stuff, but it's close enough. But it's just that interface. The aftertouch is wonky. You do have to press harder. But the beautiful display and the joystick and I have the PG 1000, so I already have the editor ready for it, which is great. So
yeah. Well, I never had the D50 keyboard. I've played one. I love the keyboard on it. They're nice.
I've played one.
In
studios, I played one.
Because I had the rack mount. It was it just wasn't getting used. Sitting down here in my little rack cabinet, just wasn't getting used. So I sold it. And I hope that kind of helps Sean sort of understand the logic. Like someone said in chat, we'll all have a different logic as to why we part with gear.
Yeah, there's no right answer.
And you will regret it. I mean, I will miss my D550. I will definitely have regrets, but it doesn't mean I'm going to sit curled up in the corner crying like a little quivering maniac.
No.
It's just get over it, Ranz. You've sold it. You know that money I get for that. I can buy something else with that money. I can buy something new or something used, whatever. It'll bring something beautiful.
I always like to try and get more than I paid for it. Doesn't always work, but I always try to at least get the same money back. You know,
it's a good
the
idea.
X key I lost money on.
It is a good idea, though.
I don't regret that.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Try and get more for it.
Yeah.
But then again, don't hold on to gear. Like I had the Volkers, right? When I sold my first round of sale, which was probably 2023, I sold all my Volkers, and I lost a lot of money on selling the Volkers. Not a lot of money because they're not expensive, but if you think about, I bought a Volker for $220 and sold it for $120. That's $100 per Volker. If you sell 10 Volkers, that's $1,000 out the window. But I knew that I could have held on to them for what? They were just sitting in the cupboard. I was never using. They were pain. Actually, to be honest, they're a bit of a pain in the ass to use.
Well, literally, right? Now you can sit down.
Yeah. But for me, they were a bit of a pain to use.
That was a setup,
Yeah.
They had their problems too. Like you'd get the ground loop noise with them, and all sorts of issues.
Only with the powered supplies. With the batteries, you don't have that problem.
Of course, but you're not going to be burning through batteries either. That's the other problem too.
Yeah. So. Rechargeable batteries. Yeah, you can do it.
I mean, do I regret selling the Volkers? There was probably a couple of Volkers in there that I do miss. But then again, if I still had them, I wouldn't be using them. They'd still be sitting in a drawer. So I'd miss them, but
this is where the park bench compatible stamp comes up, because they're really good for that. You can take them anywhere and set them up.
It's a bit like missing something when you were like a 7-8-year-old, and get over it.
Yeah, I always thought the keys was the best of the bunch. If I'm honest.
Oh, the best is the Volca drum. Volca drum's amazing.
The drum one's good. Yeah,
Volca Beats
and the modular one's fun.
The world's worst snare in the Volca Beats.
Yeah,
that would have to be the worst
never like
snare
the Volca
sound.
bass
until you modify it.
Well, even with the mod, it still wasn't that much better.
No, wasn't that much better.
Yeah,
but it did learn something.
But the fact you had motion sequencing and it could do pretty decent thing. I don't know. They're pretty fun little things.
Yeah,
they're good gateways to getting into that kind of gear, especially with cheap analog stuff.
I had some fun with them. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt sort of thing. I had some fun with it. But yeah, when you move gear on, you move it on because, like whoever said it first, I think you said it, Chris, or that it's sitting in a drawer. You're not using it anymore. I think you might have said it, Ian. If it's sitting in a box for more than 12 months, that was my rule. If it's been in that box or in a drawer or in a cupboard for more than 12 months, it goes on the list. I made a spreadsheet. It goes on the list.
Yeah.
And you know,
And then what? Then you monitor the sale sites to see the best time to sell it. You wait till it goes up, right?
Well, you can.
I have done that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like the Venom, the MOD. I know I saw your video on the Venom. I know you love it.
Yeah.
But I waited waited till I could make some money on it. I wasn't in a rush to sell it, and I just waited. And then when they started to go up above what I paid for it, you know, I still think they're pretty cheap.
Ty Unwin loves his Venom. That's a seal of approval. Ty Unwin loves his Venom.
It was the software. It was the fact it was
the software sucks.
It was really crap.
Yeah, yeah.
I had to keep.
But there are third-party editors for it that still work, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I would say for Sean, I mean, he's probably already started listening to stuff anyway, so it's probably almost too late now. But anyway, I would say it was about a day ago when he questioned the stuff on Facebook. But if he's still thinking about it, I would say to him, just take a deep breath and just close your eyes and list something and just see how you go. Let that first one go to the keeper and, you know, get through that first one, that sale, and then it'll feel a little bit easier for the second time and the third time. It'll feel a little bit easier.
Also, Ranzee, you brought up a good point with the Roland Cloud stuff. Not Roland Cloud specifically, but I bought a lot of VSTs when I couldn't afford hardware, or just didn't have room for or money for a Moog modular, or a PPG Wave or whatever, right?
Or a VCS3.
So the software stuff is so damn good.
Yeah.
And with virtualization, they will technically last forever.
Yeah.
As long as you have the not the cloud part per se, but if you have the individual installers,
if you can snapshot
installed
them,
in an image, then you could have them literally forever, as long as operating systems still do what they're supposed to do, and that's a cool thing for longevity. So
so Oracle, I think it was Oracle that I was looking at the other day, were looking at this thing as it's like an archivist's topic, by the way. I'm not going to go deep into it, but they are talking about snapshotting all different sort of, like for example, the Macs, all the different OSs, right? And
I've already kind of done that with virtual stuff.
Yeah. So you could just pull one down and go, right, I want to chuck something on, Snow Leopard. I want to chuck it on Snow Leopard because it only worked on Snow Leopard, and it has to be an Intel-based thing. So Oracle, I think it was Oracle that are doing it because they've got their whole...
The virtual box.
Yeah. Well, not just the virtual box, but they've got their whole... I don't know if you guys know, but you can get a free compute thing with them. And I was actually looking at this the other day with my son. You can do a GUI based in the cloud operating system, and I don't know if you guys have ever tried.
No, I haven't seen that.
Doing a GUI based operating system in the cloud. You think it's going to be laggy and not user friendly, and the mouse movements and stuff are going to be. So it kind of was, but the thing is, it was free, so I wasn't really going to punish it. But if you paid for it and you get the better connectivity and things like that, it's actually better. But one of the things I was looking at is doing like a little Linux GUI desktop sitting in the cloud that you can just suspend, and you only pay if you were to go into a paying sort of thing. You only pay for the minutes that you use it for, and it's kind of cool because you can just shut it down or suspend it or whatever the case is. And you might be in, doing a quick thing somewhere. You need access to a GUI desktop, right? And you've got that, and then you can just call it back up next time you've got it. And it does it all securely. It's got all things like key pairs and all that sort of stuff. It's actually pretty clever. I like what they're doing. And the fact is that you can choose all these different flavors of operating systems with it. They're all imaged right now. So different flavors of Linux, Apple, Windows, Unix. So they have Unix Solaris, for example, because it's Oracle. Because they bought out Sun Microsystems, right? And I think there was even NetWare, Novell NetWare on there.
Oh boy,
yeah. So they've gone deep.
You can play early versions.
On NetWare.
SUSE Linux or SUSE Linux, whatever they call it. SUSE
Linux,
yeah. Red Hat. There's Red Hat in there. There was CentOS. And CentOS is non-existent now because that was a Red Hat spin-off at one stage. What else did I see? I saw Arch. I saw Gen 2.
Gen 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And even Mac OS was based on FreeBSD or BSD or OpenBSD originally. Like it was like a hybrid of
OS
BSD,
10,
OS 10, and some other stuff.
Speaking of Mac, so here's a fun thing you can do too with the virtualization. So I'm an old school Mac guy, going back to the Mac 128K. So I have gobs and gobs of programs for years on floppies and other places now. And what's fun is they've made these emulators for Mac OS, like for a classic, like one called VMac. There's Basilisk 2, there's a Sheep Shaver, all these things that are way before OS 10. And so if you're running one of these emulators inside of a compatible version, like I think you need OS 8 or OS 9 to run Basilisk 2, or OS 7 I think will even run it. And then you can run that inside another emulator. So you can emulate the Mac on even a PC with a VM, and then run those emulators inside the VM. So it's nested VMs, essentially. And this stuff so you basically use this stuff forever. Ancient Mac code, even on a Windows box using VMs. So it's incredibly powerful. And you have them on little sticks. You don't need to be in the cloud. You could be offline. And just put in the stick for the VM you need, fire up the virtual box or whatever your tool of choice is. VMware Fusion if you're on the Mac. It's free now. And it's amazing. So the whole world, as long as things continue to work with those environments, you'll always have those tools, even if there's music, graphics, whatever. So
yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're going to wrap the show up, but before we do, I'm going to launch the answer to the Synth Quiz. So let's do that. Wow. Like I said, this one was harder than your grandma's hardball lollies. That was how hard it was. The answer to the Synth Quiz is the Roland MC505. And I believe, see if you can guess who got it right. See if you can guess.
I think he has a 505, so.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Wagoo got it correct first. There was a couple of other guesses in there which were close, but no cigar. Unfortunately, the MC505 was definitely the one to go with. The dead giveaway was definitely the RPS, I reckon. Once I said D-Beam and then RPS, it was pretty much gone. I knew it was.
Was Megamix a knob, or what was Megamix?
Megamix was so you've got like these buttons down the side where the screen was, and you choose that. It's like a performance mode, and you can then sort of mix different layers in.
I get it.
Yeah. It was it's kind of a cool. I should bring it back out again. It's kind of cool. My LCD screen on it's buggered though at the moment. That's what's wrong with it.
I have the 307 keyboard, which is basically I think it's the 505. No, what's the Wagoo know this? There's a drum machine version of the 307 keyboard, and it's the 5
D-Beam. I see it.
5.2 something. Maybe it's 5.2 something. So, but yeah, Megamix threw me off. I didn't know what the hell that was.
The Groovebox started at 303. That was the first Groovebox. Or 202 technically was their first Groovebox. Then the 303, which was their first digital one. Then the 505. Then the 808. I think. I don't know the 909 or the 808. I can't remember which order. I think it's weird. I think the 909 came out before.
No, 809 are very old. Yeah, they're very old.
No. I'm talking about Grooveboxes. So these are
MC808. Oh yeah.
These are MCs.
No, MC. I know what you mean. Yeah, I have an 808. Those are kind of those are crazy.
So one of them had the mechanical
automated sliders.
Yeah, I had both of them. And I've sold them. So I've had pretty much every single MC except for the latest one, the new one, which is the 707, right? I've only kept the 303 and the 505, and to be honest with you, I'll probably sell my 303 MC 303 because I don't use it at all. And I'm keeping my 505. Do you remember that comment that we were talking about before with Sean? About when you sell stuff and when you don't. Well, I'm keeping my 505 because it was probably one of the first synths that I owned, so I'm keeping it for that reason.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I kept the 700, first synth I ever owned, but then replaced it with
not the first in, but one of the first. So within the first 5,
the 700 was my first.
Yeah. There's another one there.
MC808 had a built-in zip drive.
The CS1X is one of the first synths I owned.
Yeah.
I think the first synth I ever owned was a Roland XP10. So
Oh yeah.
I think it was the Roland XP10, then the CS1X, and then I got the MC505 next.
Do they have a floppy drive in it, the XP10?
No, that's the XP50 that has the floppy drive in it. Yeah. Yeah, it's the 505 has a really decent sound engine in it. Even today, it actually sounds still pretty good. Some of the sounds are a bit cheesy, like samples of people going "yeah" and stuff like that. It's just cheesy.
Roland loves those though. They're still in the 404. They're in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a lot of those in the TR8S.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's get rid of it as soon as
come
possible.
on.
Come on.
Need that. Yeah. God's truth.
I'm trying to think, where is that? Oh, that I reckon the MC should have a Windows version, and this one should be the first button.
Yeah. Wasn't that created by Brian Eno?
The whole Windows 95 sound set was Brian Eno.
Yeah, Brian Eno. That's why I like it. But
I hope he's on a residual. Every time you hear it, somebody gets some money.
Do you guys remember when you heard that sound and you didn't press anything and you're like, oh shit, what's happened?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, 98 had that.
Must have been in there somewhere.
The female vocals over it.
Yeah. I've fucked your computer.
Whatever you're working on, forget it. It's gone.
Let's go with the angels, right?
It's with the angels. Yeah.
Wow. Your door project has gone up to heaven.
Anyway, so takeaways from today's show, guys. Go vote on the MIDI.org website if you do think that there's something that you saw tonight on my show that wets your whistle, but there's a lot more on there, so go check out the list.
Oh, there's loads.
There's a
Morphotron.
Yeah, like the music, the 10-10 music bentos on there, for example. That's on there. Vote for that if you like 10-10 music.
I'm interested in the GeoShred Studio. That interests me. I just downloaded it, actually.
Go check them out. If you guys are interested in anything that we showed today on the show, don't forget the blog article on the Ranzee.com website will be on automatic publishing at about 6 p.m. UTC time, which is only, how far away is that, Ian, from you? 6 p.m. UTC? About an hour away?
6 p.m. 6 p.m. It's half an hour away. It's
half an hour away.
Here.
There you go. Yeah. So half an hour away, 6 p.m. UTC. Are you parity with UTC at the moment, eh? Or are you an hour off? Are you an hour off? Maybe it's an hour and a half away. It might be an hour and a half away.
I just know it's GMT.
Yeah.
Honestly, the British timings.
I do.
You got to be like Arizona. Arizona refuses to use daylight savings. So
good for them.
Well, we don't either.
We should be.
We don't either.
We should be.
I know, but to have a state in the union that doesn't use it is pretty stupid.
Okay, so couple of things. Let's just quickly head over to here. So there's a couple of things I want to just remind you guys about. So you'll find the blog article. It'll be on the Ranzee.com website. Last week's show is on there already. You have these, and now what? We did the Pro 1 960 and the GP82. That was a great show. Thanks to Chris, all his hard work on that. But everything's on there. Funny side, all the news is on there. Wasn't actually very much news that week. And you'll find down the bottom all the Price Watch stuff. We had some amazing prices last week on the Price Watch. So all that stuff is on the Ranzee.com website. So like I said, this week's show will be on there. Don't forget too, this week I did a really kind of contentious video where I talked about using talcum powder on my Arturia microbrute, and a lot of people didn't agree with me. They thought it was bad.
Actually, Rand, I want to talk to you about that, but just briefly. Yeah. I have a controller that I used at the EMO one last Saturday, and I'd already done it, actually. I'd already put talcum powder all over mine. And I found that it works great. Yep. It looks a mess, but it works great.
Works great.
But actually, I had to re-talc it.
Yeah, it's not.
So it lasted about 3 or 4 days.
It's not permanent.
So you know it's permanent?
Re-talked it.
Isopropyl.
Soak a couple paper towels in isopropanol, rub those suckers down, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes forever though, man.
So if you look at this, and this is the thing. So I did that video as a temp fix. If you guys want to look at this article, I did a sticky knob repair video. I've done the Arturia Beat Step Pro with isopropyl. So there's already a video on my website. You guys might remember I talked about this a while ago. So if you want to do the isopropyl, that's there, and the video link is there. But this is actually just, if you're thinking about, okay, I need to use this synth and I need to use it now, and I haven't got time to sit there and pull every knob off and rub it down with isopropyl alcohol, the talcum powder took me about 5 minutes and it works straight away.
Exactly.
And that's the point. That's the point. If you need to use it straight away and like Arturia, stop making synths with friggin' rubberized paint on your knobs. Yeah, that's
so this is completely sticky.
Yep.
But I was using it last week. But it's, I mean, yes, it's starting to get sticky again because it's just been sat.
Wait, are you sure you just weren't excited using it? Is that why it's sticky?
Yeah.
I'll behave. I couldn't take my, because I had to have a small kit at the London EMOM, so I couldn't take the instrument, so I had to use that as an MPE controller.
Yeah. The other thing too is a lot of those knobs that they make these days, they're sealed, so they don't. Your talcum powder's not going to get in them. Yeah. But obviously, if you're worried about that, then don't use it. Just have common sense, like just don't use it. Yeah. Or I
mean, if that's screwed up, I wouldn't lose it in a sense. You know, I'll just bring it.
I'm disappointed. I was waiting for Walgo to bring up jelly resters again, but he didn't say anything about jelly resters.
Oh, is it? Has he? He has. He has.
Actually, someone posted a comment on my video about the talc, and they said that they bought the Arturia Matrix Brute, which is actually quite a recent synth, and it has the sticky knobs on that, and that really disappoints
mine doesn't.
me.
That's weird.
Yeah,
mine doesn't have that.
So I can't remember who. Someone actually put a comment on there that you go read it. There's really some really interesting comments, some chemist type level comments on there. Someone said apparently there's Australia is really good for producing sticky rubberized paint problems because of the humidity and the temperatures and stuff we get here. Apparently, like it just when they invented this shit, they didn't think, they probably thought, cold climate in China, it's going to be fine. Cold climate in North America, cold climate in Europe, that's where the majority of the world is going to be. We'll be fine. But people in Thailand buy synths, people in Mexico buy synths, people in Brazil buy synths, and all places like that. And it's the warmer.
Well, they're
climates,
supposed to torture
the
test
humid
stuff,
climates.
and they should have covered that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So apparently that's what it is. It's causing it. But there you go. We're saying that his are starting to go tacky. So that, to me, that is extremely disappointing because that synth was not cheap, the Matrix Brute. That wasn't a cheap synth. That's a high-end synth that you're paying for. I would actually,
For the talc, I could see if you put some between your fingers and just lightly apply them, that would be better than getting dust everywhere. So, I mean, if you do it carefully, it could be good.
Oh, I definitely did it on purpose to troll people, Andy.
I just did it around here, around the edges, around the back. But you could do it because the back still looks crap. The back's terrible.
Oh, damn!
If I could be asked, I'll go and pull those knobs off. And someone suggested chuck them in the dishwasher, which I thought was an interesting suggestion. In your dishwasher, you've got the cutlery thing.
Yeah.
Chuck them in the cutlery thing.
I just cleaned the knobs in situ with the isopropanol. It was fine. I didn't have to take them all off.
No, they're not going to fall out of the cutlery basket because my cutlery basket's got a lid. You just pull it up and click it on.
Yeah.
Nothing falls out.
I had a Nectar Panorama that had sticky sliders.
Yeah.
And it took forever to get it so I could into a position where I could actually sell it because it was
The worst was on a mini brute because the whole frame is sticky. They put rubber all over the outside.
Well, that's the same with that Keith McMillan thing. That's the whole frame sticky there.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I'm going to buy a poly brute, and I really would love to buy one, but purely because I'm just worried that in 10 years' time I'm going to have sticky knobs on that, and it's going to piss me off. So I'm worried about that stuff.
Well, I would never buy another Nectar thing because of that.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same thing.
My Zoom recorder, the H6 or whatever it is, that H5, H6, that's all sticky. So
I've
Zoom.
got a H2, which is very, very old, and that's not sticky.
No, because that's
Interesting.
that's shiny plastic. The H2. Yeah, mine's the same. It's shiny. So that's fine.
What about using fingernail polish on them? Clear fingernail polish, preemptively.
No, don't
Before
use
they get
acetone.
sticky.
Do not use acetone.
No.
Well, it depends on the type of plastic.
No, I would say completely do not use acetone.
No, I would not do that.
Yeah, it'll dissolve it.
You can experiment on one of them to see what happens, but some kind of sealant. It
Did
doesn't
I
have
tell-
to be that. Yeah.
Well,
Just talking about
the theory about the talcum powder is because it's alkaline, right? And apparently it's the stickiness comes. This is where the chemist comments were just really interesting. The stickiness comes from the fact that you've got an acidic reaction on the paint from the environment, right? It's a chemical reaction that's happened, and it's acidic. So if you know anything about gels and acids and stuff like that, you'll if you did chemistry, you understand this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So the whole reason why the talcum powder was so instantly workable, and Ian, you had success with it too, was because it's neutralizing the pH levels on the acidity side of things, and the talc itself is kind of, the molecules of the talcum powder is getting into all the tiny little bits, and it's creating that.
Well, yeah, we live in polluting
seal.
environments. If you had a cleaner environment, that wouldn't be such an issue. So,
yeah, exactly.
No. Did I tell you what about? Just change the subject somewhat. Did I tell you that Soma sent me a set of knobs, things for my Terra? Did I tell you that?
You told us. Yeah. You showed us the bag.
I told it was 2 weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And
Now,
they sent me an illuminator.
Last thing before
did
we
you explain why those did that? Because mine haven't done that.
No, they didn't. They just sent me a complete set, and I'm going to swap them out when they start to fail. Well, I've got one knob so far that's getting slightly dodgy, and as soon as they start to fail, I'm going to start swapping them out.
Where are we?
Because my dad sprays his golf clubs with Varathane. It's a polyurethane coating.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
golf
Kent
clubs.
very
You could
sweet.
use
He
that
said
potentially.
Yeah, it said to send them to him, and I probably will, although he refused to be paid. I said, well, I'm not sending if I don't pay you.
Yep.
But once I've swapped them out, I'll get him to actually revarnish them for me, or so I've got another set, because it's going to happen. They tell you to change them every year, Andy. I don't know if you saw that in the manual.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Guys,
didn't read that.
we got to move
Sorry.
on. It's getting late. I'm supposed to finish the show about 40 minutes ago. Right. Last thing before we finish, Ian's released a new album. You guys probably would have watched Pro Synth Network last night. You would have seen that he got a little bit of it played. I want to play it. I'll probably do it next week, Ian, if I get a chance.
That's fine, mate. Yeah, no problem.
But this is it, 96th day of the year. Is that the one?
That's the one.
Yep. Beautiful. You guys, I would suggest support Ian, because he's actually a really good guy, and honestly, you will actually enjoy this album. However, Ian has been gracious enough to send me, what do you call them again?
Yum codes. The Yum codes for Bandcamp. So you've got the same
day
amount
codes.
Yeah. So you can give them away and do what you want with them.
So I've got 10.
So, I mean, Robbie had a quiz which not many people got, apparently. My feet size, but anyway, that's a whole different story.
So what we'll do is I've got 10 free codes, right? We can award these to people that have won the Synth Quiz. So Wagoo would definitely get one if he wants it. And
that's a good idea.
Yeah, anyone else that's won the Synth Quiz in the last couple of weeks, they can hit me up and I can send them a code. So I've got 10 of them to give away, and then anyone else, I just suggest you go and buy it. It's only £5. It's pretty cheap to buy. Or if you want to, do the right thing and buy his entire digital discography for just under £100. Right. I think that would be even nicer.
That we'd eat tonight. No, Bert, you're wrong with 11. That's from still trying to find out my shoe size.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ian, he's slowly trying to chip away at stealing your identity, because you get your shoe size.
Exactly.
And the next thing you know, finds out your wife's
First
maiden name.
First pet's name.
Yeah. And you play those little games.
First synthesizer.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, he's trying to hack into you.
Yeah.
By the way, you're talking about environmental stuff with the knobs. Real quick, back to the red glue thing. my D50 JD800 took forever to get the red glue problem, and it should have happened years ago. So I don't know what changed in the environment to make it happen, but it finally did break down and make a mess. So.
Well, it's just the chemicals that they used in things like the glues and.
Oh yeah, the half-life is shit. They just didn't plan for it, you know. So, but the problem is, mine should have. It's just weird because my room gets really warm and it gets really cold, so it should have done that years ago. Yeah, so I don't know why.
I remember talking to years ago on the show to Marshall Arnold about it on here because he had the same problem with his. You guys might remember Marshall lives in the US.
I do.
Yeah,
in Florida.
Yeah, in Florida. Actually, haven't seen Marshall for a while. Actually, we hope he's still okay. By the way, but that was years ago. That was kind of like maybe even season 1 with this show. That's how long ago that was. 2019, before COVID. This show went through COVID. We had pre-COVID and post-COVID on this show. But anyway, I'm going to end the show now, and next week you're going to have episode 307. Get that into your pipe and smoke it. And we'll play some of Ian's music. How's that sound? That sound good?
Sounds great to me.
All right.
Cheers, Rant. That's brilliant.
All right, guys. And let us know if by socials or email if you've won a synth quiz in the last few weeks or whatever. Just send us an email. I'll send you the code. Hit me up. I'll send you the code, mate. That can be for you because you've won about 1,000 synth quizzes. Just calm down, all right? Just calm down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd send him a jelly wrestler, but I don't think I can get in the post.
I reckon Wags he's gone and printed himself his own T-shirt. He's like, I am the quiz. I'm the synth quiz master.
No, it just says jelly wrestler. Honestly, it does.
And then it says the jelly wrestler.
That's a T-shirt. That Sinners Music should do that T-shirt, shouldn't we? Because I'd sell at least one to Wags.
We need to do a sticky red goo T-shirt, I think, for the Synth Geekery. Yeah. All right, guys. Say goodbye. We'll do a double catch up with you guys next week. Sorry, Chris, we ran out of time. We'll do a double catch up, and we'll do it at the start of the show. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah,
big show today.
Don't worry. No.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
See y'all later.
Catch up.
Bye,
everybody. See ya.